All right, guys, I'm here, and we'll get the camera going in a minute. In fact, I'll go ahead and do that, start the camera. All right. So it looks like I've been live for about a half a minute so far, and just throw in the comment section if you can see me. Oh, it looks like 19 people are watching at the moment. And I'm going to put the link right in the chat. In fact, I tell you what, I'm gonna do that in about 5 minutes because that's when we officially start. So you guys can chat, and I'll pretty much come back in 5 minutes. All right, guys, welcome to the 2021 Rolex release pre-show. Now, it's going to be like, what, 11 and a half hours before things actually drop. And I went from thinking, okay, this is going to be an hour and a half after things drop. We're going to have a ton to talk about, to making the announcement thinking, uh-oh, now we're going to have like nothing to talk about, to now thinking we have a ton to talk about because there are some really good leaks. And just, can I get a thumbs up in the chat to make sure you guys can hear me? I'm assuming this is all right, but I want to make sure before I continue. Okay, all right, so I got a yes. All right, so first order of business, all right? First order of business is, it looks as though I owe J-Bro an apology, all right? Yeah, all right, so if you guys haven't seen the Rolex Passion Report, and I'll pull it up in a minute, there apparently will be a Oyster Bracelet available for at least the Blnr. So that's a big topic, and I am surprised. Now, I made a video about that. You guys saw it, and pretty well received video, although it looks like I was wrong, and Mark Goldberg's source was right. So I have to apologize to J-Bro. It's not quite official yet, but I want to get it out there that I think he's right and I was wrong. And yes. So now I think the link is in the chat. I'll throw it in again. Yeah, you're right, Mark. We can't say for sure yet, but Rolex Passion Report, and in fact, I'll throw that up. There you go. I mean, he's right apparently a lot, and he doesn't get a lot of, I don't know, press on YouTube. It's almost like a completely different thing. I guess he doesn't have a YouTube presence. If he did, maybe we'd talk about him. But I've already seen the Dubai expat talk about this, and so it's out there. As you can see, the Blnr on an Oyster bracelet. And the question is it just going to be the Blnr? How could it be? I mean, are they just, yeah, I don't know. I mean, is it changing to the Oyster bracelet? Are they taking it off the Jubilee onto the Oyster? Or can you get both? And what does that mean for the Pepsi? I mean, is the Pepsi going to come on a Jubilee bracelet only? So a lot to talk about. And I'll go ahead and put in the link, and if anybody wants to jump on, they can. Tan Zeal with the super chat. Thank you, Tan. He says, now that Rolex has brought the Blnr back, is it time to bring back the mullet? Hey, man, I mean, I'm kind of trying, but I don't know if I really want to commit to the mullet. But if I got it cut up top, I think this would be enhanced tan. So, yeah, I don't want to leak that information yet. All right. But we'll see about that. Anyway, here's the link to the chat. And so if you want to jump on, fine. If not, I can just kind of, waffle on about some of these watches we're seeing here. So when it comes to the Daytona, it looks like it's going to be coming with a meteorite dial. And so I don't know if that's new or not, because I'm not really up on my precious metal Daytonas. And I'm seeing some more pictures here that I'm not quite sure what we're seeing, but it looks like a sky dweller. So yeah. All right. Andy T, $10. Bring back the mullet. Yeah. We'll see. All right. Yeah. Now, just to be clear, it's 8:30 in the morning here, all right? And I'm ready to have a drink or two, but we'll wait for that, okay? I don't want to go right into it. What am I going to be drinking? Dutch gin? Absolutely not. Too early for that, too strong for that. But something like this, I think, would be okay. I've got, in fact, I'll tell you, and I see Blue Shirt is here. I'm going to let you on in a minute, Blue Shirt. Let me just finish talking about the alcohol real quick. It actually worked out because last night I went out and I got 5 beers and I came back. My wife knows that I'm doing a live show, but I put them in the back of the fridge and covered them with cheese and put like a carton of eggs in front of them, not thinking it would work, but it did. She didn't say anything to me. She's out and she has no clue that this is going to be happening. So that worked out well. All right, let's get Blue Shirt on. Blue Shirt.
Austin, how you doing, my friend?
It's good to talk to you, man. Wow.
Talk to you.
Yes. All right.
You got some super chats.
Thank you. Thank you. All right. So Tanzeel writes, Austin Daniels, drunk stream. Here we go. All right. Well, I got 5 beers. There's a little whiskey in the other room, but
no gin.
No. That gin's hard to get. You got to order it, and yeah, and plus it's so strong. All right, James Con 11, $3.99. Bring back the mullet and drunk stream. I'm getting a lot of super here, Blue Shirt, about the mullet. It looks like the punters want their mullet.
Yeah, it's signature Austin Daniels.
I think it
definitely
is.
Need it back.
I think they'd be very disappointed if I buzzed it again right now. I've gotten close to the mullet, and it always disappoints people. But I need a mustache as well. Now, Blue Shirt, yes. You're a mustache guy. You're a mustache guy, right?
I am indeed.
All right. Have you ever thought about the mustache mullet combo?
No, never.
No, yeah,
no, not my style.
Probably wise. All right. So now, Blue Shirt, did you see the releases?
I mean,
the leaks.
I saw the leaks. Yes, I did. I did.
So what do you think?
They make sense. I mean, a Jubilee on a Sky Dweller makes perfect sense. It's a dressy watch, so it makes it even dressier. Giving the Batman, an alternative of an Oyster Bracelet makes sense. You know, there were a lot of people that do not like it on the Jubilee.
Right on.
A Meteorite Daytona makes perfect sense.
Yep.
Whether this is all real, who knows?
I have a feeling it is. I have a feeling it is real because
it could be.
Rolex Passion Report does a pretty good job. All right, we got the Rancher in the house. We got Wes P in the house. And Wes, I actually did a custom video for him. So I'm going to add Wes. Hey, Wes, how are you doing?
I'm doing well. Can you hear me?
Yes. And here comes the Rancher. I don't want to get at too many people, so I think this is about good.
How's it going?
Rancher, you're alive.
Barely.
All right. Well,
again,
it's good that you are. And
evening, Rancher.
Wes, how are you, man?
Doing well. Got the little one with me here. How are you?
Hey, that's a good looking kid.
Yeah, she'll be 1 on Friday.
All right.
Congrats.
All right. Excellent.
Congrats.
Well, you know what they say. You spend the first year teaching them how to walk and talk, and the next 17 on how to sit down and shut up.
Yeah, I can see that.
All right, guys. So let's talk about the Oyster Bracelet on the Blnr. Now, do you guys think that are we going to get a choice here between the Oyster Bracelet and the Jubilee, or are they committing to the Oyster for the Blnr and the Jubilee Bracelet for the Pepsi?
I would think that it's going to be a choice. It's not going to be one or the other.
Well, well, let me put it this way. Yeah, I don't know. Choice is the operative word. I think there might be variation. I don't think you'll get to choose which one you get.
Right.
Interesting. Okay. Mark Riordan with the super chat, $5. Austin, you look best with the Buzz /clean shave. Also, check out Explorer 2 Polar prices on Chrono 24. Dealers are trying to get 20,000 for them. In fact,
That's insane.
That's one of the things I need to do today. I need to take screen grabs of the prices here in Japan because I have a feeling that they're going to go up.
Yep.
Yeah. All right. So the thing is, the cases of the BLNR and the BLRO are the same. So
correct.
I think it makes sense they'd get a choice, right? Because otherwise people are going to mix and match, and Rolex has to know that. And so,
and they hate that.
Yeah, they hate that, especially if they don't sanction it. So I think they probably would get ahead of it and just sanction it so they don't have people getting cute and buying both and mixing and matching. What do you guys think of that?
That's possible.
The thing is, though, I don't see them going from the Jubilee just for a couple of years and then going back to Oyster. That is too much of a windfall for the back door players.
Right. And plus, Rolex never goes backwards. They're always moving forwards. It's just not their style to go back. Full time, which is why I'm thinking that it's going to be, for those who can obtain one, you might have a choice of getting it on the Oyster with the return of the polished center links that everybody loves to hate.
Yeah.
Or the Jubilee.
Well, yeah, and if you go to RSC, you could probably get both, just like you can with the pre-ceramics. So it's going to bring some versatility to it. That's what I think. Now, this relates then to the 116710 BLNR, okay, because that only comes on the Oyster Bracelet. And so do you think it's not going to tank in value, but do you think people are going to want to get out of that? Because if you have that, you only have one choice of bracelet. So obviously, after this is released, you're probably going to want the current BLNR because then you've got more options, right?
I guess it's pretty polarizing. I think people either love the Oyster and so they got themselves a Batman either when it was in production or now, or they got the Batgirl and love the Jubilee, and that's what they and that's what they're happy with. Yeah,
but people love choices too, right? And so if you don't even have to choose, it's like a no-brainer. You just go with the newer version, maybe pay a little bit more for it, and then you can always switch it up down the road and change the aesthetic. That's what I would do. I would be less inclined to get obviously the first BLNR with the Oyster Bracelet because you're stuck with that Oyster Bracelet. Whereas if you go with the new one, I think, assuming this is true, then you get both. Okay, Wargasm, £4. Hey Austin, I emailed you about my stick dial 116710LN, which is for sale. I'd rather it go to a fellow enthusiast. The new Rolexes will be mainly Explorer 2.
Austin, if you click on the comment, it'll put on the screen for everyone to read.
Thank you. Been a while. Thank you, Rancher. All right, here we go. Yeah. Wargasm. Thank you for the offer. I'll think about it. I'll think about it, but I'll get back to you. And
there it is. That's the one.
What's that, Wes?
That's the one I think I might be in the market for after all said and done.
All right. Well, Wes, I've got your email as well. Let me go back and forth with Wargasm, and then I can connect you guys if you're interested. Cool. And that must be a 2009 stick dial. That would be pretty nice to get, kind of special. So, yeah. All right, guys. So should we talk about the Explorer 2? Anybody have anything to say about that while I crack open this beer?
I just think that it's going to be
chug.
I don't know about the ceramic bezel. I'm still not convinced of it. I think we see a green. Yeah, I think we see a green GMT hand. and
Interesting.
I'm not really willing to commit to anything else.
This is purely guess. I would think that they stick with the same colorway on the hand, go ceramic. Call me crazy, but I could see them adding to the line, keeping the steel. I know that's they've done that with the Daytona, right? So they've got options there too. I could almost see them adding 2 colors in a ceramic, leaving the 2 colors in steel, some other tweaks maybe, and then make up for it with cuts elsewhere in the line that aren't necessary. I could see them doing that to add focus to that line. Crazy thought. I mean, it's possible, but it'd be cool if they did that.
Green, yeah. Oh, go ahead.
An interesting rumor that I heard was that maybe they might go from steel on the bezel to tungsten, which is a lot more scratch resistant.
Right. I think Mark mentioned that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Has Rolex ever done weird metals like that? I don't think they have. I would kind of be surprised to see that, but it would certainly be interesting. It just is kind of. Go ahead.
Yeah, just saying you got another super chat from Tanzeel.
All right, so Tanzeel writes, $5. Austin, what are your thoughts on Nautilus prices now that Bagel Sport has discontinued their 5711? Bagel Sport? I don't know what that is, but yeah, the prices.
Chinese clone. They've recently discontinued them, and now they're literally selling in the tens of dollars.
I don't know what Bagel Sport is. Is that a Bagel Sport?
Yeah,
is it a joke here?
It's a cheap Chinese copy of a Nautilus.
Okay. All right. Okay. Well, Tanzeel, get your Bagel Sport now, because once the Bagel Sports stop being produced, then they could really shoot up probably to 5,000 USD. That's a handy hunter position.
You got another super chat from Wargasm. He's got a good one. Okay,
Wargasm writes, new Explorer 2 will have Milgauss crystal. I've heard that. And what do you think about that? Let's see. Let me pick somebody to talk about that.
You mean the green crystal?
Yeah. Rancher, what do you think about
that? Don't really think really hard about one way or the other. It's like, okay, whatever. Whatevs. I think the thing is, if they're going to do that, then they're going to kill the Milgauss,
which is also a possibility.
Oh, right. Yeah. The thing is, I mean, the Milgauss, like the green crystal is so Milgauss. And so it would make sense that they kill the Milgauss to use it on something else. But why would they do that? It would be like giving the Explorer 2 the Milgauss's sloppy seconds. That's what I would feel like.
True.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's like if you don't put it on the Milgauss, it's like, okay, well, it gets it now because we're going to discontinue the Milgauss. So, but people are saying that because of.
That's because it won't fit on any tutors. That's why.
Is there a joke in there somewhere?
No.
Okay. All right.
Hey, Tudor has new releases tomorrow as well.
Yeah, that's right. I think it's like an hour and 10 minutes after the Rolex releases, if I'm not mistaken.
No, it's the same time. It's noon.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, noon on.
There you go. Okay, so as we go through this is what people I don't know if you can really look at frame by frame and say like this means this and this means this, but I've heard that, okay, you got the green there, that could be the green crystal, right? It could hint at that. Mm-hmm. And then it does look green, but this would have been a pretty dark photograph. And so do you think that's the chromalite?
I think that's the chromalite. Yep.
I think it's the chromalite as well. Okay, Wargasm writes, Milgauss is a dead watch. No more need for it. Yeah, but that's like saying, Wargasm, that's like saying nobody's really using the sub for diving, and so you don't need that anymore. I think maybe what Wargasm is saying is that they're all pretty equally magnetization resistant. Is that probably what he's saying? But what do you guys think? I mean, you think the Milgauss is going to be going. And before we talk about that, let's read Tanzil super chat. So Tanzil writes, Austin, are the Japanese also going bonkers for these bright dial OPs, or is it just Oklahoman lawyers looking to wear the Tiffany dial to traffic court? They're going crazy here over them, absolutely crazy. And they love the Tiffany blue dial. That's the number one here. But anything, I mean, you can't even get them. People just snap up things and either hoard them or sell them or wear them. So, yeah. Do you miss Clyde, your OP, or do you still have it somewhere? Care to comment on that? It's out of the bag. You sold it, man. We know. And the rancher's gone. No, I'm just kidding. All right, guys. So what do you think about the Milgauss being discontinued? If you had to bet, what do you say?
I'm not sure. I think there's maybe a good chance that it happens.
Mm-hmm.
But people are still really liking the Z Blue, so I'm not sure. I'm really not sure. I mean, let's put it this way: the Milgauss or the Air King, one of them is going to go.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, because they're the same watch.
Well, they are, but they're not.
Right.
They have totally different identities, and they're such a big part of the catalog. Although they've discontinued watches and then brought them back. I mean, could the Chronograph be coming back? Probably not. But didn't that disappear for a while? Or maybe not. Maybe I'm thinking of the. I think
it did, and then they brought it back in the early 2000s for like 10 years or something like that for new reference.
All right, I gotta click off Wargasms thing. I'm not used to this stuff. You guys are probably pulling your hair out. Like, why are we still looking at this comment? Okay, let's see. Somebody super chat so I could do that. All right.
You just got to go back up. You got to go back up to that comment and then click hide.
Here, I'll do the last comment. That's what I'll do. Yeah, if I had to bet, see, the thing is, I mean, all of these models sell well. And so it's not a matter of like, is it selling or is it not selling? I mean, everybody is buying a Milgauss when they stumble upon it at an AD. Mm-hmm. So I can't see any reason to discontinue that. And it's kind of a big part of the Rolex history, as is the Air King. So I don't think we're going to see that end. So that's my guess. But anybody else have a take on that?
Rolex is not afraid to jettison its history if it serves their interest.
Do you think it would, to get rid of the Milgauss?
Yeah. It's not like the Milgauss was a super seller. It never was an icon. It was, it wasn't a jock in school. It was in the chess club.
Remember,
always hanging out in the back.
Don't put anything past the Cunty Swiss.
What are scientists going to do then? How are they going to get by? Don't scientists need to tell the time?
Well, actually, I think they'll continue to look into science.
All right. But how are they going to tell the time when they do that? They need a timepiece dedicated to them. And Rolex has said that is a watch that celebrates like the accomplishments of science. So if they discontinue it, is that like a jab in the gut to science? Post-Trump era, a jab in the gut to science from Rolex?
Yeah, totally could be.
Yeah, I would be surprised.
I could see the Cellini line being canceled and them coming out with a new dress watch.
Yeah. That's in fact, that's something that I've heard. I think one of the leaks or something that I heard along the way was that the Cellini is going to be discontinued in favor of a different dress line called the Vienna. Have you guys heard that?
Yep.
So do you guys think now is the time where everybody should be scrambling instead of getting the Explorer 2 to run out and buy the moon phase Cellini? That's an awesome watch.
It's the one male-sized Rolex watch that's in every AD.
Right.
And if they discontinued that, that would be such a cool watch to have. I mean, the end of the line, and that's the Cadillac of the Cellinis. It's got a piece of meteorite dial for the moon. What is it? Does that retail for? I want to say what? How much? 50 grand?
It retails for 0% off. 0% off MSRP.
Probably, yeah. But anybody have a ballpark figure on that?
The one with the meteorite, I'm not sure. I mean, they start at like, 14, 17. The moon phase I know is like 24. They're not cheap, but they're beautiful watches. They're just completely unloved.
Well, because you can get them, but the second they're discontinued, you can't find a Cellini anymore. I think people are going to say, "Wow, okay, I'm gonna get one."
Well, because that's really the mentality of the typical Rolex owner now. Anyway.
Sure.
Right. Craig Shit is saying $40K for that one.
$40K. All right. See, that's too expensive to speculate on.
Super chat.
Tianzil writes, best value for money, AC3 girl size Pateks on Gumtree, initial Nidal, I don't know what that means, legal consultation with Clive, okay, or buying you a drink for a sumo wrestling drunk stream. Oh, the drunk stream. Put your money in the drunk stream. It pays dividends back. It's probably the only thing that's better than Steel Sports. And 50 pounds. Wow, man. Gavin writes, I'm a bit meh with all Rolex under 42 millimeters. Do we think the new Explorer will be a larger size? I wish Rolex would release a larger Air King also. And what are your thoughts, RE, the VC Overseas Chrono Blue Dial and Calatrava Pilot? Okay, a lot of questions there. So I'll just go through them quickly and then we can kind of talk about them in detail. But I don't think the Explorer 2 is going to go larger at all. Because I think it's the 42 millimeter watch. You got the 43 millimeter Sea Dweller, and you got the 44 millimeter James Cameron. So it fits perfectly exactly where it was. It doesn't encroach on any other watch's territory. So I don't think we're going to see that change at all. Unfortunately, I'd love to see it go back to 40, but it's not going to happen.
No.
As far as the larger Air King, I think it already grew, and I think it's large enough. It's a time only watch, and so you risk it looking like a big plate on your.
Doesn't need to be bigger than 40. It doesn't. It
doesn't. Is it 40 or? Yeah, it is 40,
it's
right?
40. It is 40. Yeah, it was 34 until the latest iteration.
All right. So my thoughts on the VC Overseas Chrono Blue. Now, is that the one? I don't know if you guys watch Archie's stuff anymore, but is that the one that he was thinking about buying and then decided he didn't want? You guys remember that?
No idea, and no
idea. All right. Well. Look, I think VC is a beautiful watch, beautiful watches, and I love them. So my thoughts are really awesome watches, really nice, but expensive. And look, if you got tons of money, then sure, add one to the collection. But if you're just sort of a regular Joe like myself, you have to really love it to splash out for something like that, because you might not get your money back when and if you decide to sell. So. The beauty of Rolex obviously is that it just retains value. So I love all of those watches, but I got bigger fish to fry. I like Rolex more, and I like the value retention. But I mean, who can say anything negative against VC, a blue dial chronograph? So beautiful.
Well, the blue dial chronograph. I personally prefer the three-handers when it comes to overseas.
Okay.
And and like I said, I realize I only have the first iteration, but it's a nice cream dial, also a three-hander. I think any VC overseas, the three-handers in blue, good luck finding them from MSRP. And as for the Patek Calatrava Pilot, don't. Please do not. If you're going to get a Pilot, get the Zenith Pilot.
Now,
I knew that. I
now
knew
is-
that was coming.
Every time I see someone with that Patek Calatrava, here's what that means. That means the person is trying to kiss the AD's ass to try to get a Nautilus or an Aquanaut, and they had to buy that instead. If you want to get a Patek pilot, just get a freaking Zenith pilot. Same watch.
The first thing that the rancher says when he sees a Calatrava pilot, nice Zenith.
Hey, nice Zenith.
Is that the watch with the red accents? The red accents? Because I don't know what we're talking about.
Well, and like I said, and Zenith made that watch first. I know for a fact Zenith made that watch in 1917. So, yeah, and we're not just completely talking shite, Gavin.
Well,
so those are our opinions.
Okay, here I'm googling it. So, this. Yeah. I know this one. I've tried this on.
You got another Tanzil super chat.
This right here, right?
Yep, that's it.
Well, okay. I'll get to Tanzil in a second. So, Gavin, it's big. It's huge. So if you like big watches, which you apparently do, if you like the 42 millimeter Explorer, then yes, beautiful watch. But for me, it was too big. They have like I guess it's either a unisex or a ladies version that's 30 something. I think that's awesome. That's perfect. But of course, it's sort of a ladies version, so I'd never get it. Too big for me, but beautiful. When I first saw it in pictures, I was like, oh, it's beautiful. But then when I tried it on, it was too big. All right, so Tanzil. Clive does not believe in kissing the 80s arse. He prefers AliExpress specials. Well, you got an OP rancher, so they like you in some way, or you got lucky. How did that happen? Or like you're the only person in Oklahoma with money?
Here's why. What happens is you get your intelligence. So right now, if your AD is still open, right now, guys, call them. Go in and talk to your AD. Hopefully you've been in there a couple of times already, and just say, hey, just out of curiosity, if Rolex happens to introduce a new Explorer 2, can I be put on the list for it?
Okay.
And the ones around here play exceedingly fair, and it's first come, first served.
Yeah.
Listen,
all right.
Just take the rancher's advice, everybody. Listen to him and take his advice, because I listened. I did what he suggested, and a month later, I got my bluesy. So it does work.
Austin did not listen, and then his mullet became cursed and started to fall out.
It doesn't work like that here, guys. There's got to be a list in place. So I mean, you guys have a great.
If it's a brand new reference.
What I mean by that, Clive, is that they have to agree to put you on a list. I mean, they have to have the list system in place. They don't work. So if I go to a Japanese AD here, what they'll do is they'll say, we just put them out when we put them out. And I'll say, yeah, but I want this one. Like, how can I get it? And they just shrug their shoulders. I say, well, do I just pop in? And if I get lucky, I get lucky. Again, they won't ever answer me, but they'll just kind of smirk to themselves because that's what they say, but they keep them in the back. So there is no list.
Okay. Now let's go back. Let's look at Treetop Flyer's comment real quick.
Okay. Where is it? Right here.
It's on where it says Treetop Flyer.
Mm-hmm. So he says, I did that for my OP41, got a call days after the release. Mm-hmm. And we got a Japanese comment, and I'm glad to see there's no kanji in it. It says, "Anata no video o arigato, Austin." Okay, thank you for your video, Austin. Anthony, thank you, and thank you for not using any kanji in there. That could have been embarrassing for me. He said thank you for the videos.
Cool.
All right, so right. Well, if you live in a place where they do lists, where they have lists, then that's what I would do. But again,
you know what it is, Austin? Really, it's
they're pissed off at you going in and filming their store inside of their stores all the time. That's what it is.
They're pissed off because I won't buy two-tone Datejests.
if you have a decent relationship with your AD and you're not a complete dick going in there all the time harassing them, and they see that you're not a flipper, if you go in and say, hey, this model has just been announced today, can you put me down for it, even if there's no lists? It does work. Not all the time,
work.
But it
can work. All
Yep.
right, yeah. Now keep in mind. I mean, in the heart of Tokyo, going to places. I mean, you're talking about shops that probably see people spend 100,000 at the drop of a hat, and so there's that. And my question for you, Blue Shirt, is that what AD did you go to? Was it like right in the city, or was it sort of in the boondocks? Not boondocks, but
neither. I'm in the suburbs. I'm on Long Island, outside of the city.
All right.
And it was a family-owned AD. It's not a small one. It's not a huge one. It's medium-sized. They sell, pre-owned watches. Rolex is their only brand. They sell a lot of jewelry there. I bought my Explorer 2 there. I'd go in every couple of months and just say hello and talk to them. And I always wore my Explorer 2, and they always saw that I had it on, and they noticed that I had it, and I was always asking how much I loved it, and whether I was still enjoying it.
I got to interrupt you for a second.
Yeah.
Please, Shirt. So Tanzio writes, ladies size Patek. Ladies size Patek. Yeah. Hey, you can't knock on the ladies size, but come on, they're not ladies size Pateks. But all right. Yeah, I'll tell you, I think you guys might have heard it, but I remember going to this AD. I was like in a meeting outside of Tokyo, and I was killing time and went to this department store, just didn't even know if they had an AD, and they did. And I walked in and I talked to a guy, and this was right before the new Datejust were coming out. And so I was talking to him about the movement, and I was just like throwing around like, knowledge about the movement. So I think he was kind of surprised. And so he took out a catalog, and then he ended up giving me the catalog. He was like, no, take the catalog. And I've always wondered, like, I think that could have been the start of something. So I've always thought maybe I should go back out there. It was like probably 2 hours outside of Tokyo, but I think that's the way to do it. I think if you live in a big city, you're really going to have a hard time getting anything. Okay, we probably should get off this topic, because that's not really what today's about, right?
Right.
So what should we talk about now? Any other predictions, Rancher or Wes? Wes, you're, I don't want to not include people, but Wes, do you have any feelings on the upcoming watches? Is there anything that you're interested in getting new?
Yeah, I would be interested if they added a color to the GMT line, which there's been some talk about maybe bringing a Coke back. I do like the two offerings now, in stainless, in steel only. I'm talking about, not two-tone. If they brought back a version of a Coke bezel, I'd be super interested in that. And the Oyster Bracelet is definitely a little more interesting to me, and having an option of them. And I think one of you guys made the comment of it's not really a choice; it's which one rolls through, and do you want that one or not, or do you wait for the other bracelet? So. If they did another color on the GMT, I think that would be really cool. The Explorer, I'm definitely interested in seeing what happens there. And I've always wanted the LN GMT that was discontinued. So if this new GMT has that green hand and looks in that similar fashion and can serve as a watch like that, I'm definitely going to have to think about that.
Mm-hmm. All right. So, guys, new color GMT. Now, if I had to guess, I would say that I got 3 could be in the catalog. I mean, I guess they could do that, but the thing about the Coke is that I imagine how it would look, and I'm not sure that it would look that great. I mean, am I the only one that thinks that? But it's like the red. I think the red and the blue work well, but red and black. And I don't mean that color scheme, but I mean like the red Cerachrome is sort of meh.
I kind of agree.
And so they would have to. So, but here's the thing. I mean, they could come out with, they could start putting something in the ceramic to make it pop a little bit, you know, like granules of something to give it the texture of the aluminum bezels, you know, which are kind of nice. I mean, obviously they're not going to release something that sucks. And so if they made that, they'd probably, you know, tweak it in some way that was awesome. And so, I mean, what do you think about that blue shirt?
I mean, I've heard rumors that not Rolex, but Tudor will be coming out with a Coke.
Which would make perfect sense because
correct.
I think they're still using aluminum.
Aluminum,
yep.
Yeah. And that would be nice, except if it came out in the thicker case, which is not terminal, but it's just
it's not. It's really.
I'd like to see Tudor go really back into its catalog and come up with just something really off the beaten shelf. The vanilla Pepsi.
Still pushing that Aquanaut.
I'm still pushing it until prices get high, and then I'm getting the hell out of this fucking thing. Makes me sick. Won't you guys buy it? Come on, I'm trying to pump it up, dump it.
I think the Ranger here, you know, is a discontinued reference right now. So an update to that could be something that they do. We'll see.
And the discontinuation of the North Flag.
True.
Here, show us that again.
Nice Ranger.
Yeah.
My window's right on the other side here, so you're probably getting a little glare, but there you go.
Good. Right there. Perfect.
Yeah.
Mr. Tanzil super chat.
All right. Did I? Yes. All right. So Tanzil, thank you, Blue Shirt. Tanzil writes, Austin, what is more desirable, a pink Birkin or Clive's Parmigiani Fleur, aka the Pizza Hut shitter? Well, look, I'm a watch guy, so hey, man, I've never thought about getting into bags and look, yeah, bags. I don't know. Pink Birkins and stuff, not my deal. So I'll take a Squalo over a Birkin. Do not.
No dead bodies here.
My Parmigiani Florier Calpa Abdomadere with a fucking Invictus, sir. I will throw my glove down at your feet.
Who is this talking to me?
Yes.
Well, I said Squale.
Yeah, well, Invicta or Squally. That's even worse.
The Parmigiani, no, again, it's one of those really obviously quality watches. I don't know. Yeah, it is. Yeah. But yeah, well, you won. I would choose your Parmigiani over the Birkin. So be happy. All right. Talking about the Tudor. Yeah. Okay. So let's talk a little bit more about what Wes was saying, the different colored GMTs. So I don't know. I feel like I don't think we're going to see that this time. I think eventually, of course, there's going to be a Coke coming out because the Coke is, you know, the GMT Master 2 started on the Coke.
Well, the trouble is everything has been recently reconfigured, with the exception, the ones that have languished the most have been the Explorer and the Explorer 2.
Correct.
So I don't see them pitting. That would be almost a misplacement of resources to pit the time and the energy into a Coke bezel.
Agreed,
now,
Rancher. Especially this year. This is the year of the Explorer 2. It's the 50th anniversary. They're not going to do something radical with the GMT. They're just not. They're not.
Exactly.
I agree. It'd be interesting to see, and would love it. But you're probably right. Yeah,
it's good, but it's going to come in the future, definitely. I mean, the Coke is such a big part of the GMT Master 2 that they have to have it at some point. But again, I just think the only reason they don't is because they haven't perfected it in a way that is attractive.
I'd never thought about that. You make a good point, and that's probably one of the reasons why we haven't seen it. Is this, if they can't dial it in, they're not going to do it.
Well, on the other hand, how have they not been able to dial in? I mean, we know they've done red bezels before. We know they've done black bezels before.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, but if you think about the red bezel that they have and the black bezel that they have and put them together in your mind, it just doesn't. I mean, it just
It's a little dull.
Yeah,
Yeah.
dull. It just.
And it took
I wouldn't
them,
want that.
It took them so long, years working on that ceramic bezel to get the blue and the red to separate. It took them forever to get that right. I could see them having issues with getting the red and black.
Right.
It's
And
not out of the realm of possibility.
I guess I just don't see what you guys have against blacks.
Okay. Okay. So moving on quickly. Okay. So, but yeah, like blue shirt, you're right. And it took them forever a long time, because don't you remember the pink was like, it was pink. It wasn't red. It was pink.
Mm.
You know, it was like,
and the blue was purple.
Right. So
Took
they
them
have
three
struggled.
3 iterations of it to get it right.
Yeah. Now that's something that Rich Buddy talks about. What does he call them? Those early Pepsis. I would love to have one of those.
Mm-hmm.
You know, those
Super chat.
weird Pepsis. All right. Not seeing. Oh, here you go. Okay. Thank you. So Tianzo writes, one thing I did find pretty amazing was the magazine culture in Japan. We basically have watch time here, but you can get vintage Rolex mags and others in Japan. Yeah, absolutely. That's something that, yeah, they got a lot of fashion magazines, and Tanzila is right. They, my Japanese isn't really good enough to where I could really get into it. I could look at the pictures and stuff, but yeah, they have a lot of magazines, vintage things. Like you could pick up a couple of those magazines and read up and really learn a lot. So I don't know, magazines, do Americans...
And a lot of them don't shave either.
Do American
magazines were we talking about?
Do Americans read magazines anymore?
No.
I don't think Americans read anymore. That's the thing. This is kind of a joke, but yeah, here in Japan they've got a lot of good magazines. So, but again, there's a whole nother sort of culture here that I've never really explored. I don't know why. I kind of like sort of not doing the watch thing here. I kind of like being talking with Western people and sort of doing that. But there's watch clubs here, and who knows? I mean, the thing is, if I start doing that, I'm going to want to film it. I'm going to want to start talking about it, and then I'm not sure. Japanese are sometimes kind of be on social media and stuff like that. So, but that's a whole nother thing that I haven't really explored.
Nice.
Yeah. Maybe I will in the future if I get bored, but I probably should get into Grand Seikos because, for obvious reasons.
Nah, man, stick to what you love, man. You love Rolex.
Yeah.
Stick to it.
Yep.
Rolex and strange tutors. Strange and unloved tutors. I'm like the guy that gets the stray unloved cats, but I go for tutors.
Super chat.
Alex.
Super chat.
All right. Alex writes, what do you think about the Gmt Meteorite Dial? How will it compare to the Daytona Meteorite Dial? Thanks for your thoughts. All right, Alex, thank you. Well, let me get other people's opinions, but first let me talk about mine. I love the Gmt Meteorite Dial. I think it's amazing. And I think that's an amazing watch. I think it's got, what is it? The Superman is like the nickname for that.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, I don't like gold watches, but it's what is it? White gold, right?
White gold, yep.
Mm-hmm.
So it's doable. I mean, obviously you can't expect a meteorite dial on a steel watch. I mean, that would be too much to ask for. I think it's a fantastic watch. And if I were, looking for an awesome piece, that's what I'd go for, because it's that stealth wealth. You get the meteorite dial, but it's not ostentatious like white, like yellow gold. How does it compare to the Daytona? Well, I would prefer.
Have you ever thought? Wait a minute. Have you ever thought about renaming your channel to Ostentatious?
Yeah, I hate using that word, by the way, because of that. I hate using the word because of that, but sometimes it's just the right word. Tianzi, I'll get to your super chat in a minute. Let me just finish this. See, the thing about the meteorite dial is I would want as much surface as possible. So the Daytona, you know, if it's got that sub dial, and so I don't know if the sub dials are going to cut into the pattern of the meteorite dial. So if I were just looking at a Daytona or GMT, I want the GMT. So, but again, both of them are totally going to be unattainable, I think.
Yeah,
correct.
All right. So Tianzio writes, why is this live stream so sober and not Austin wearing a kimono, finishing a bottle of gin and drunk dialing American ADs about the latest Batman? Do we need to step it up a bit?
You need to step it up.
Well, I guess I do. By the way, guys, I'm wearing the fake Rolex shirt.
Nice.
For this. Yeah. I mean, you know, you can see my nipples through it and everything. So, you know, it's high quality.
So,
all right.
So Matt Stevens gave it to you?
I'm not touching that one.
we don't do. You should know this. Matt Stevens and we don't do shirts when we're together. We don't do shirts.
You go shirtless when you guys are together. Yeah, we've seen
all the time. Unspoken.
I'll be right back, guys.
All right, guys. I need this. So Wes and Rancher, can I employ you to talk with each other?
No.
Is Wes still there?
I don't think Wes is still here.
I'm here.
All right. So topic, Oyster Perpetual colors, which you like. I'll be right back. I'm going to get a beer.
Rancher, it's all you. Lead off.
Well, you know, I think there's a certain, it's almost like iPhones, because you always want to get the one that, you always want to get the color that says, I've got the new iPhone. And that's a little douchey, but I think there's that element to it. So yeah, says, I've got the new OP. So I think the hunter green is great. The yellow, the sea oral. I'm sorry. And the Tiffany blue. I think I could definitely get used to the Tiffany blue. Which color strikes your fancy?
I agree. I like the blue. I think I'm the only person that likes the silver with the gold accents, kind of the champagne. I think that's a really clean, good-looking watch. I really like that one.
It is. It's very much a throwback to vintage, though.
It is.
Yeah.
I do like it, and I would probably, if I had to choose one of the brighter colors, I just think that yellow is so unique. Like that one. Yeah. That one is probably one of my favorites.
So Wes, I just kind of came into the middle of that. You're talking about the silver dial with the gold accents?
Yeah, of the OP, like I think I'm one of the only people that I really like that sort of champagne dial with the gold accents. I really think that's one of the better looking, very clean, under the radar. I love the old white dial, and I think that's kind of the closest to that simple look. If you're going to go that route with an OP, I think that's a really good choice.
I love that. Okay, so Solo strikes back. 5 pounds.
I would pitch them all for an OP39 in white.
Okay, James Cameron. Okay, let me read this again. James Cameron, Deepsea, discontinued, new Explorer 1 with white dial, 40 millimeter case. Okay, well, the Explorer 1 with in a 40 millimeter case. Right now it's 39. I don't think they're going to change that because you got the 41 in the OP, and you got the 36 in the OP. So it's perfect. And just think of it like if you're trying to sell these watches and some rich guy comes in and he says something about the largeness of the 41. It's easy. All you get to do is show him the Explorer 2 and say, well, this is 40. And it's something for everybody. So I don't think they're going to mess with that. I think hold on a minute, 39 or 40. But then hold on, 40 would encroach into the Air King or the Milgauss area.
Yep.
Yeah. So I don't think they're going to change that. I think it's going to be 39. And that's probably why they discontinued the OP39, because it was encroaching on the territory of the Explorer 1. As far as the white dial, love the idea, but that's to me, that's the nuclear option. That's when like Rolex needs to bankroll something or open a new factory, somewhere that. So I don't see them being that kind. But what's going to happen to the Explorer 1? I mean, it's just a new movement. That's it's lame, but is that all we could expect?
Right. Hey, Austin, thanks for having me. I'm going to have to run right now.
Mm-hmm. No problem, man. Hey, thank you. Thanks for coming by, man. I appreciate it.
See you, Rancher.
That's right. That's right. My mother swears vengeance upon you, but we'll discuss that later.
All right. And James Cameron Deepsea discontinued. I don't think it will, just because I can't. The only reason I think it would be discontinued is if just the contract with James Cameron ran out. And I guess it's possible that it could. It probably will sometime. I can't. Maybe it didn't. Maybe it just will continue.
I don't know. They're still selling. That's for sure. By
the way, guys. Okay, so just so you guys can understand what's going on, this stuff, and this was a 6% beer, and this is 5% beer, and Keaton, just
I like that, Austin. I've got one for you here. If you can see, this is.
Oh yeah.
I'm saying this is a 10%. Can only have a couple of these.
Nice.
10%.
Yeah, I know.
Oh yeah. Show me the label.
You can get these in the springtime. It's kind of a limited from a Michigan brewery, Bell's. It's pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Pop Slam. Unfortunately, I finished that one.
What's your most entertaining Japan watch buying story? Gavin writes. Well, I guess, okay, I'll tell it quickly to you. I guess it was the time that I gotta talk about actually buying a watch instead of shopping. It was when I bought the P serial GMT Master 2, and I'm checking it out, and I made a video about this, but I jumped the hour hand backwards, which you're allowed to do, which you can do in the movement. It doesn't hurt the movement, but the woman snapped at me. And when I say woman, she was this young girl. And, I think probably to her defense, somebody had told her, okay, don't let people go backwards, but this Rolex you could. And so I said, I got a little snippy, and I was like, this movement can handle it. And then she gets snippy again. She was like, yes, well, it's our watch, so we'll tell you what you could do with it. And and then I said, I'll take it. Can I have a discount? And she said, no. And I was like, fuck. Okay. And that's it. I remember when she told me not to do that, I was like, this might mess up the discount thing, but I was like, I really want to school her ass. And so it might have cost me a few $100s, but all right. And
what are you gonna do? Tanzil.
Yeah. All right. So Austin, solid gold Jubilee Sky Dweller is a date killer. Also, guys, Rich Buddy live after the Austin show. Okay. So yeah, the Sky Dweller, I don't think it'll ever kill the day. Well, first of all, it doesn't have the day on it. Also, it's so big. And look, if you like that kind of thing, I can see going that route. But for me, I mean, it's all about the 36 millimeter dates. And so the 41s are too big, and then the Sky Dwellers are even too big. So I think I don't think it's a date killer, but it's just another option. It's like it's like a date on it's like a date just on steroids with a GMT function. Hopefully I did that. Oh, I'm sorry, that was Bud the Stud.
Yeah,
Bud the Stud. Okay, thank you, Bud. I feel like I didn't answer. I feel like Bud is asking. I don't know. Maybe he's thinking about getting. The Sky Dweller. Has it ever been on a Jubilee? I don't think it has. Right?
No, it hasn't.
Ah, that's what he's asking about. Okay, I kind of missed the question there because that's the leak. Well, it definitely is going to encroach on the territory. It's interesting. It'll be interesting to see if you could have an option to go back and forth between the bracelets, which perhaps not. I'm not sure. They have the gold Jubilee. They have the gold Oyster bracelets for the Sky Dweller, blue shirt?
I'm not sure.
I don't either. I think they do. But I think it might be like rose gold. So I'm not sure if you can like mix and match. Is it a day date killer? I don't think anything can kill the day date. I mean, it's so classic and you know, you got your 41, you got your 36, or is it? Yeah. So. All right, guys. So we've been going an hour. What do you say? A tad more?
It's your show, my friend.
All right. What do you guys say? We'll ask the audience. What do you guys say? A little bit more? They're probably going to say yes, right? Tanzeel, sure. Tanzeel, what do you think? I just opened this beer. We got to go a little bit longer, right?
I did too. I got one more to finish here.
I got like 3 more to finish. All right, we'll be here all day.
Well, I got an interesting question for you, Austin, to see what you think about this. You know, we've seen the Oysterflex starting to make its way into some areas here. Like, do we think we see more of that anywhere this week, or you know, what are your thoughts there? What are your thoughts on the Oysterflex anyway? Like, I don't think I know your real feeling on that.
A lot of okay. Yeah, Oysterflex. I mean, it's rubber, but it's got like the metal inside. So, you know, it's not just a rubber bracelet. It's more than that. But you're paying so much. I like metal. You know, I like metal. I just feel like you're paying so much for synthetic, weird, I don't know, plasticky material, rubbery material. I don't know. It just kind of rubs me the wrong way. But as far as you know, that's some people say, is it going to come on the Explorer 2? I've seen that in the comment section. I would be very surprised. I don't think they're going to do that. I mean, it would make sense, you know, it's a caving watch, but I just don't think they're going to do that. It's like I think they think it's fancier than it is, and so I don't think they're going to give it on steel watches. I think that's why they put it on, you know, precious metal watches. I mean, are there any steel watches that have it? I know that the Yachtmaster does, but all right. Whoops. Tanzeel writes, another drink cost. Let's go, man. He's up to no good. But you could do that if you pay the piper. So,
you know, also that's a good question. I'm not sure the Oysterflex, you think about those Yachtmasters, aren't they? Isn't that a white gold and rose gold? Like, I think it's a white gold version.
I think so.
And they've thrown it into the Daytona line. It's sort of weird where they've applied that, and it almost felt like they saw these aftermarket rubber straps and thought, you know what, we're gonna sort of skip that line and we're gonna take advantage and offer that. But where they've applied it is so weird. You'd think they put it on a sub or a Sea Dweller right away, but they just haven't done it. So everything they do is calculated. You just wonder what the thinking was.
Well, I mean, I can tell you what the thinking is that they wanted to sell a solid gold watch to people that were a little shy of having not only a solid gold, you know, watch head, but a solid gold bracelet, that it's just too much. It's too in your face. It's too flashy. And that putting it on an Oysterflex tones it way down. And let me tell you, I'm a Rolex bracelet guy. My bluesy will always be on its bracelet. I never put on a strap on it. But that Oysterflex bracelet is an amazing bracelet. It is very comfortable. It is super well made. It's got titanium running through the rubber. It's amazing, and it does a good job of taking a really expensive, you know, solid gold watch and making it even sportier.
That's a good point.
We'll get back to that, but Gavin Stevenson writes, "Hey, Solo Strikes Back, drinking Tactical Nuclear Penguin tonight, which craft beer maybe. Probably why I'm tipping AT so much. Still wish they'd make a bigger AK. Well, drink up, buddy. Drink up." All right. But I think that Wes makes a really good point. I think they wanted to get into that market a bit, but I think if they put it on talking about the rubber bracelet. I think if they were to put it on the steel, people would think, you know, you're paying all this money for. But hold on. I think that what people would say is that you're paying this money for a steel watch on a rubber strap, but somehow if you put it on the gold head, it's like it somehow justifies it a little bit more. I don't know if that makes any sense. It's like you if you put the rubber bracelet on a steel watch, it sort of tones it down. But if you insist that the rubber bracelet is only on gold watches and precious metal watches, then it brings it up. Yep. And so you've essentially brought up a plebeian thing to sort of higher status than it ever should be. It's a freaking rubber strap, right? So yeah, it's an interesting tactic, but I don't think we're really ever going to see it on anything steel unless, again, something happens and they have to do this.
Probably right.
So, blue shirt.
Yes, sir.
Do you regret selling your Explorer 2? And I have to ask that. Man. But it's probably the one time where it really is worth asking because it's right on the verge of both of those watches.
Do I miss it? Sure, I miss it. Do I regret trading it in? No. No. I wear my bluesy every day. I love the bluesy. I've wanted it for so long. You know, I got my 2 years with the Explorer 2. It treated me well. It was a great watch. You know, and I got a very fair price for it, so I was happy.
You're not a speculator anyway. I mean, like
no.
you wear the watches, and so yeah.
Yep.
Now, Wes, what are you thinking of getting next? I know I just did a custom video for you, and I should know that, but they all run together in my head, to be honest.
That's okay. So yeah, the first part we talked about the green Submariner. I'll avoid the nickname. That's not one of my favorite nicknames. So I got the green Submariner last year, and
let me just interrupt you for 1 second, Wes, because I gotta.
Yeah, go for it. Knock it out.
Austin, do you ever tell the Japanese that you own your Explorer 2 because Gaijins love mullet spelunking and drunk streaming with other Gaijins? Nah, never tell them that. Is there a connection between the Explorer 2 and the mullet? I hope not. Rolex better hope not. Spelunking, I've been spelunking, and drunk streaming, well, we're doing it right now. All right, so sorry, Wes, go ahead.
No worries. So yeah, the first video we sort of touched on the green Submariner and how it was increased in value not long after I got it. I got it in June of 2020. Okay.
I know you're the hoarder. You're the hoarder.
I'm wearing it now. Don't worry. I've been wearing it.
What do you have on right now?
It's on here. Hold on. Let me turn the camera on. I've got so much going on around here. So it's on. So it's there. So, you know, the thought was when these watches increase in value, no matter how much you love them, or the thought of that value, the wearability factor creeps into your mind. So it was like, well, do I turn this into 2 wearable watches? And ultimately you kind of nailed it and said that was more of me just thinking out loud and not on the fence. Like there's too much around this, what it meant when I got it. I'm going to keep it. But the thought was, you know, what's going to be next if I do want to save that for special occasions? What do I want to kind of daily as a Rolex? And, you know, my question was, do I go GMT modern in the black, which is also discontinued, or 5-digit, which is, you know, something that could sort of move in a museum piece territory and also become one of those that I sort of stash away and look at, you know, and not wear. So where do I go? And of course I like one other than the other, but the next move for a daily, I think, would be the modern 116710LN. Did I get that right? The GMT black. And then, you know, kind of work down the road a ways to acquire the 5-digit to have that and know that I've got something I can wear every day and not have to sort of depend on it. So,
Wes, I want to talk about that more with you. Let me read Fluffy Kitten's super chat. So Fluffy Kitten writes, Austin, no one cares about Rolexes that ADs won't sell us. Please show us that thick semi-Japanese bum of yours. Do you have an OnlyFans? I don't. Yeah. Why don't I have an OnlyFans yet? I mean, porn and Rolex. I mean, would that just not work wonderfully together? Yeah, I'm not drunk enough to show the bum yet. Okay. But talking to Wes here. So look, Wes touches on something that is, I don't know. I'd like to know. Well, see, I know Blue Shirt's feelings on it. I mean, he just wears them, but and I'll let him weigh in a second. But yeah, that's the aspect of Rolex ownership that is kind of it's both awesome but kind of sucks as well, because these things go up, and especially if you buy like neo vintage pieces, they go up, and so it infringes on the wearability of the watch. And again, like I said in the video for Wes, I mean, it's all in your mind, but yeah, Wes, I mean, if you were to get a 5-digit, you were thinking about a GMT, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So what would you go for? Like, would you go for like a box and papers unpolished piece?
Yeah, absolutely. If I were going to do it, I wouldn't, and you talked about, do you go the cheaper route and find one that you can wear, or would you spend a few more bucks and get the solid example that's in good shape, unpolished box papers? I'm the guy that would do that. I would get that example. And that's why I know myself well enough that if I did that, I'm not sure I would really just could put that on and thoroughly wear it without any concerns. So I just don't think that was going to qualify as the daily, that I was looking for next. I'd still like to get one, but I don't think it's going to be the very next one. And I do like the fact you can change those bezels. That's really cool. But to me, if I'm going to get it, it's going to be the quality example, box and papers. And I don't think it would be one that I would wear every day. So the question from the video was, if I need a good daily and I want a GMT, I think that's the function that I would use more. I think the modern for me is probably the way to go now. Unfortunately, I can't just go out and buy both right away. Like that's just not in the cards for me. So the next move I think would be the modern first to wear every day, to have that and I can feel comfortable with it, and then move to the GMT down the road.
Okay. Yeah.
Definitely go the box and papers route.
Yes, and like I said in the video, once you do that, if you get like a box and papers, unpolished yet really minty, I mean, I don't want to repeat myself, but you know how that'll pan out. You're gonna hoard it a little bit more. But anyway, Hanzio writes, Austin, why do the Japanese buy each other oddly shaped fruit, i.e. square watermelons? Do they not appreciate things going pear shaped? All right, Archie reference there. What could I say about that? Well, look, gift giving in Japan is oftentimes about how much money you spend. It's not really the thought that counts. Like, so to get a square shaped watermelon is not about the watermelon. It's a fact that you spent $120 on it. And it's like, because I guess time equals money, and if you give something expensive, it's like you're giving your most precious resource, I guess. I don't know. That's my take on that. But Blue Shirt, what do you think? I mean, I kind of know the way you feel, and you don't get hung up on all these sort of like, oh, am I going to hurt my thing? I mean, you don't get hung up on that, and I really appreciate that. But do you have any advice for Wes or I that seems like we might not be able to handle our Rolex watches?
Just wear them and enjoy them and love them. That's what they're made for. They were made. I know they're not tool watches anymore, but they were made to be worn and not to think twice about them. Every nick and scratch and dent that you get is a life experience that you'll remember, good or bad. And if every time I look at my bluesy, I smile. It makes me smile, and that's what a watch should do.
I think that's good advice. And can you? What do you think about having pleasure in hoarding a watch? I mean, can you have? Is there pleasure in hoarding a watch?
I mean, sure. I guess, but I mean, what's the
Wait.
what's really the point of having a whole bunch of watches and you're not wearing them and they're sitting in a safe somewhere or in a safe deposit box or in a watch box? What's the point?
Okay, it's not so other people can't have them. Right? Let me just tell you what it's not. It's not so other people can't have them. It's to me, it's having something beautiful, like a piece of art that's perfect. I mean, look, it's sort of like having a beautiful piece of art, and obviously we don't go around touching pieces of art. We don't do that. But if you view these things as art, having a beautiful example it's just like it's like a statue of a beautiful woman or a statue of something, and having that 3D image or that 3D thing that's perfection, and it's. I mean, do you see where I'm going with it? We'll get back to that. But Tianzio writes, if Austin has 10 square watermelons and Clyde has 5 tumbleweeds, how many pear-shaped Birkins does AC3 have? Logan Hall wrote that. That's very creative. I like that. Could you give us an answer, Wes? Can you calculate that?
No.
I'm probably thinking too much about it. I think we're just supposed to laugh about it instead of trying to answer it. But yeah,
exactly.
That's it. Just say thank you for that. Thank you for your patronage, and we got to laugh.
Yeah, but okay. So going back to this, because this is a video that I'm surprised I haven't made. The pleasure in hoarding a watch and the pleasure in having having a watch that's perfect. And some people say to me, they say, yeah, and Archie actually goes into this, and I think he has a real good point. He says, you're gonna die soon, right? Or not soon, but him, yeah, maybe, but not me. I'm living a long time. No, I'm kidding. But we're all gonna die, and so to hoard these things doesn't make sense. And I sometimes I picture myself on my deathbed and somebody coming and presenting, my A serial GMT and saying like, man, isn't that a waste? And you know what I'd say? I'd say, no, it's not a waste. I was so glad to take care of it, and that I could enjoy looking at it and to have it. And if you told me that it would go to somebody that would wear the hell out of it and beat the hell out of it, I would be a little bit disappointed, right? But I would think to myself, I took care of it and I enjoyed it. And I guess what I'm trying to say here is that I think there is some pleasure to be had in hoarding a watch. It's a weird pleasure that it's like, I don't know, hoarding something like one of these things or something. I don't know, just to where if you have old vintage Matryoshka dolls, sure, you could give them to your kids to play, but you might have a nice set that you just look at and you're like, it's old and stuff. And so I guess I feel like that about Rolex. And so even the idea of me dying and not even wearing the A serial GMT much doesn't really bother me. I'm like, yeah, that's fine. I mean, obviously,
okay. Hey, to each his own, and I can appreciate where someone like yourself has a minty example and they want to keep it minty. I get it. It's just, if I have a nice watch, of course I want to keep it in good shape, but I just have I have to wear it. That's just me.
Yeah. I mean, I would like to be a little bit more like you, Blue Shirt. I've always been a hoarder, and let me get to Solar Strikes Back's comment. He says, how do the Japanese generally view Grand Seiko versus Rolex? Any patriotic brand loyalty? Yes. I mean, 100 times yes there. Yeah, we'll get back to that. But is there fierce brand tribalism? No. Does Rolex brand power win? Yes. Rolex wins. Is there fierce tribalism? No. Is there patriotic loyalty? Absolutely, absolutely. And so I guess if you are a high-profile person here, my guess is that you would love your Rolexes, and just like all of us, right?
Mm-hmm.
But my guess is that you might invest, especially if you're like a company president, in a Grand Seiko to sport every now and then at certain meeting or certain functions. You know, it would be, as I put it, the high-end beater. And that would be the perfect high-end beater here, because you'd be representing the brand. You'd still have your nice watch. But yeah, I mean, there's a lot of pride in Japanese made things, you know, and so.
Big fan of Grand Seiko here, obviously.
Mm-hmm. Ridden Rotor, thoughts on possible Tudor Black Bay 58 GMT? I would love to see that.
I don't see that happening.
I agree.
I just don't. I as much as people want it, it's just, it would be shooting themselves in the foot to do that.
How so?
Well, because they've got the 41, and I mean, do you really need to have two size GMTs?
Wait, is it? Yeah, but if they discontinue that.
Discontinued the 41 Black Bay GMT?
Yeah.
Maybe.
I want to talk about that a little bit more. Let me get to Tanzeel's super chat. Ideal Rolex to wear when you are partying with Yakuza, eating naked sushi off your best, paying blue velvet gig, and drinking the finest sake. Oh, God, that sounds fun. I want to do that. Wow, gold.
Got to be gold, right?
Yeah,
has to be.
My guess is it would be a yellow gold white dial Daytona pre-ceramic. Okay, and why do I say that? Because I went to a sports club with a guy with all the tats, and he had that, and yeah, I don't know. I don't want to, I don't want to say too much, but yeah, that's what I would go with. Wow, that sounds fun. Let's talk more about Blue Shirt. You were going to say something. I heard you open your mouth.
Nope. I'm good.
Were you breathing?
Possibly.
Okay, your mouth breathing. That's right. You do breathe. Okay. Thoughts on possible Tudor Black Bay 58 GMT? Yeah, if it happened. Right. I think Blue Shirt is right. It would cut into the 41, but that's why I think the 41 would be discontinued. But the question is, would they do that? And I think the thing is, I don't know. I mean, look, a lot of us like the Black Bay 58. But the GMT Tudor is very popular. And I don't know. I think it might be watch guys that are kind of saying that. I don't know if the general population really really has a problem with the 41. You know?
I know I didn't. I mean, I owned the Black Bay GMT. It was a great watch. I didn't have any issues with it. Yeah, is it a little chunky? Sure it is, but a Planet Ocean is way thicker. So is a Sea Dweller and a James Cameron and an Iconaut. And I'm seriously considering buying it back because I miss it.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Hey, I was talking about buying back a Tudor myself, a Black Bay 41 red bezel. I don't know why, but I just feel like I have to have it. I'm with you.
Interesting. Yeah. I mean, yeah, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about it because it would make it better, but I don't know. Is that really why you buy a Tudor anyway? I mean, I guess. I mean, it can only get better, right? If they were to put it in the Black Bay 58 case, I just can't see them doing it. Yeah, I'd be really surprised to see that because then they almost commit to that case for all of their future Black Bays, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? It's like if they say, yeah, we know you like the Black Bay, we're going to put the GMT in it. I think that could really cut into all of their slab-sided Tudors. You know what I mean?
I do. I don't think it's not possible, like what you're saying. I just think they're gonna keep that case for the GMT. If anything, you might get a color. I don't think it's gonna happen. If anything, if I see one thing that I would see them adding to the Black Bay 58 line, maybe not the 41, but would be a date. They have a date window in a few of the 41 options, but I think there might be two-tone. But maybe a date on the 58 would probably be a bigger step for them than a GMT in the 58, in my opinion.
As long as they keep it the same size, yeah, because it's all about the size, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, all right, now I put the link in the description, and Wes and Blue Shirt, can you hold down the fort while I get beer number 3?
Sure. Got it.
Let me ask, I got I forgot the brands. I was going to ask what beer I should get. I forgot which I have. So.
You got Asahi to cover the bases.
Yeah, I do. Asahi.
Cover the bases.
Asahi Premium Malt. Asahi Premium Malt or Wild Card. Because I don't know the Wild Card. I can't remember what it was.
I say Asahi.
Yeah, sure. Asahi.
Okay. All right. Okay, guys. Hold down the fort, please.
No worries. All right. Well, Rooted Rotor is he's got a couple things here that I'm just going back up. He said you could say the same thing for the Black Bay 58, though, meaning that and they still have the 41. I don't know. I just don't see them doing a GMT in it. Like you were saying, Wes, I could see them adding a date to it at some point, that being the next step. And I know a lot of people think the 41, the Diet Pepsi GMT is too slab-sided, but I didn't find it so much.
I think one thing too is I believe they have the movement for that, and I'm not sure if that fits per se. I don't know the differences of their GMT movement size and if that would fit in that case. Mm-hmm. And that could go for the date version, but you would think that the date version of there you go, Super Dry. You would think that version would fit in the 58 case if they wanted to add a date. I just think that's an easier extension of that line and probably would gain more sales than a GMT. Well, the GMT might be popular, but I just think it's probably an easier extension of the line.
And Rooted Rotor is saying, a Coke in a Black Bay 58 case and the Diet Pepsi in the 41 case. And that, I guess I could see that. But because as we mentioned earlier, there are rumors of Tudor bringing back a Coke. Whether it be in the 39, Black Bay 58 case or in the 41 case.
It would be more intriguing to me, and I really I'm a big fan of Tudor, but I'm getting ready to say something bad about the current GMT. Austin did a couple of videos for me, and a few comments were saying that, hey, you should really think about this Tudor GMT. It's a Pepsi bezel. That's your alternative for a 5-digit Rolex Pepsi. And I thought, my first thought was, look, I respect that watch, but no, it isn't. It's unfortunately just, to me, I couldn't look down at a Tudor GMT if I wanted a 5 digits pre-ceramic Pepsi and think, that's gonna do for me. But so I'm not a huge fan of that watch. So they'd have to do something really cool for me to jump on it. But I like other parts of their line, and I really do like Tudor. But that current GMT just doesn't do a lot for me.
I mean, the heart wants what the heart wants. If you have your heart set on a Pepsi, then no, it's not going to be a substitute.
No,
I'm not unlike Austin. I'm not a vintage guy. I like new. And I know the chances of me getting a new Pepsi are slim to none. I'm just not that big a spender. So the Diet Pepsi, ticks the boxes for me.
Well, the thing is with the the Tudor, I don't think the size is a deal breaker because I don't think that's why you're buying it. I mean, again, if it has the Black Bay 58 case, that's all the better. But that's not the deal breaker because that's not why you're going in anyway. I mean, you're going in because it's wearable, it's under the radar. It's cheaper. Like Wes and I were talking about before. If you have Rolexes and you get stressed about wearing them and the wear on them, it's a great, high-end beater. So
yep, exactly.
So it doesn't really matter if the case changes, but people on the fence would maybe go for it. You know what I mean? It's like if you're over on the fence and you think, well, I really need a high-end beater. I really, the price is right. I got the money I'm ready to go. But it's just like, I don't think the case is beautiful. Well, a Black Bay 58 case. But again, I think that's crazy. I don't think we'll ever get it. And I think that's us putting our real desires onto Rolex. And I think them saying like, sorry, you're never going to get that, kind of like the white dial Explorer.
Tenzil again here.
All right. So, Austin, what is the more desirable fat lady, the Rolex 16760 or a Clive Minotaur Wrangler? I'm going to go with the Rolex here. And 16760. 16760. That's right. Yeah.
16760.
Yeah. Fat lady. Should we talk about the fat lady for a second? Fat lady is first GMT Master 2. Came out in 1983 and ran for 5 years. And it only came out on a Coke bezel. And that's why the GMT Master 2, like the quintessential GMT Master 2, is a Coke. And that's why there will be a Coke in the future. And if there isn't a Coke, then Rolex has forgotten its GMT Master 2 history. But they just got to get it right. So yeah.
Agreed.
Yep.
What do you guys think? Do you like the glass?
Yeah, nice mug.
I dig that.
Huh. Yeah. It was bubbling before. Anyway. And you can get mugs with like things on the bottom that make it bubble.
Mm-hmm.
And the last time I used this, man, it was going crazy.
There's a big cheers right there to you, Austin.
All right. Marco, cheers to you. And is this Marco of I'm pretty sure this is Marco in Canada that just got the sub that the Watch Cardinal, I believe, is his channel. Cheers to you, Marco. Awesome. And Marco, let me know if that's you, right?
Yes, it's me, he says.
Okay. He apparently is possibly going to get a second piece, and that would be a Blnr. And that is awesome. And that would be a powerhouse collection. And, I've been thinking about that. Marco, because you've got your no date sub, and let me tell you, when you get your Blnr, because I've heard you say that you're not so into the date. You say, well, my PAM doesn't have a date, and I'm not so into the date. Let me tell you what, when you get the date on your watch, and also that fourth hand, you are gonna love that watch so much. You'll always come back to the sub. You always because it will be your first Rolex, but I think it might take over the sub. That'll be pretty cool. Yes, it's me, he says. All right. Blue shirt, what's your favorite complication?
Probably GMT.
Really? Over the date?
Yeah.
Over the date?
Yeah. I don't need a date on my watch. I really don't.
You have a girlfriend in another country we don't know about?
No. It's just it's a cool feature. I mean,
It is.
I had my Explorer 1, and I love that watch, and I didn't miss having a date on it. Not having a date on it.
Okay. But it's funny because you can't really have a GMT hand without a date. So if you choose
Correct.
the GMT, you get the date.
Correct.
But if you had to choose, honestly, I love the GMT hand too. But if I had to choose, I would. If you said, okay, you got to have just one complication only,
Mm-hmm.
it would have to be the date for me.
It's got to be the date, right?
It's so boring, isn't it? But
Yeah.
it's so much more useful.
Yeah, but are you going to say that about a no date sub? That perfect symmetry of that watch? I don't know.
Yeah,
I struggle with those. I get the allure to them, but for me, I need bang for my buck, and I'm not in a position to just have that. So I need a date kind of on the watch, I believe.
I put the link in the chat if anybody wants to come on and look. I know there's two different factions here, in a way, because like I don't want anybody fighting here. Blue shirt.
There's no. I'm not at war with anybody. I'm not fighting with anybody.
Cool.
So
cool. All right. So everybody's good. All right.
I've said that 1,000 times.
Hello.
JJ, how are you?
Good. No wars here, Austin. I just came to show a little love to your channel. What's
Awesome.
up, fellas?
Thank you,
How's
man.
everything going, guys?
Good evening.
What's going on, Bruce? Hey, Wes. How are you guys?
Good.
So-
How are you?
Good.
JJ, you got a beautiful studio there.
Thank you. I just was popping in between a few streams. I saw you on. I wanted to hop on. Usually, you wake me up late at night when I'm sleeping, Austin.
How so?
in the group text when
Oh.
when
Oh, yeah.
it's daytime for you, it's I'm asleep. But
Yeah.
I always catch your comments later on.
So what are you wearing there, JJ?
Today, actually, I just picked up a new piece. I'll show you right now. I got a Seamaster. Omega Seamaster.
I saw that.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
I love that.
I got two watches in a row. I got this today, and I got the Speedy Tokyo 2020, the red bezel one yesterday. I took it off the bracelet. Thank you.
I was thinking I need a Tokyo 2020 to drink this beer. Look at that. That would be the perfect beer for you. With
There
that.
you go.
That watch.
Now, Austin, let me ask your opinion.
Okay.
What do you think out of the 5? Do you think this is the one, or am
Yes.
I wrong?
No, I do. And if you've ever watched Maynard in Japan, he was in Japan as well. And I was talking to him probably about a week ago, and I was like, man, I really like the red bezel.
Right.
I really like that. And he was like, me too. And he's thinking about getting it. I was thinking about getting it. I probably won't, but I think by far it's my favorite version. And obviously the Panda version is the one that sold out here completely. You know that, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
And I don't know why. I mean, I've asked people at the Omega stores why, and they said it's because it looks like a Rolex, basically.
Panda phenomena, right?
Yeah. But the second that I saw the red bezeled one, I thought it was awesome. Now, what I was thinking is that if you're looking for investment purposes, and you're probably not, JJ, but
no,
should you go with the lemon, like the green bezel, right?
Right.
And so that's what. Now, I mean, that would be crazy. Be like, I don't like it as much. It sucks, but I'm going to get it because I think, and all of a sudden you're stuck with a watch that you don't like, and maybe doesn't go up. But what I hope for you, JJ, is that the Olympics come and go, and that I would like to see Omega take all these back. You know what I mean?
Oh, you think they're going to buy them up themselves?
Well, just say to the stores, like, send them back. See, I don't know if they're just going to say, sorry, stores, you're stuck with them. And I mean, that would be kind of embarrassing if like after the 2020 Olympics, they're still like, you can still find them at the ADs. That would be really embarrassing. You know what I mean?
Right.
I think you got the perfect version of it, JJ.
Thanks.
Yeah.
I really put some thought into, I looked at the 5 and they were interesting to me. And what really made me want I just right off the bat, the red one like spoke to me because it was quite different.
Mhm.
But, the yellow gold Speedmaster has that same red bezel.
Mm-hmm.
You have that moon dust dial that's on their precious metal. So it's got a lot going for it.
Yes.
Plus it's truly like the nickname, the Rising Sun. It's true Japanese fashion for the Tokyo Olympics. It just had quite a few things, plus the fact that I aesthetically was happy with it. It was aesthetically pleasing. If it doesn't go up in value, I could care less. It's a watch I'm going to enjoy. If it does, it's just
that's the most important thing.
Yeah.
And you know what I noticed?
Wear it and enjoy it.
I was watching on Chrono a bit before I bought it, and I noticed that the Panda's obviously going 13 to 15,000 US. The red bezels, I don't know if it was a small group of people or whatever it was, but they were all reserved. Like let's say the 10 cheapest ones were all reserved, and it looked like they were starting to sell out. So I said, let me make a move on this now before it's too late. And that's it.
It's interesting because I could just go down the street and I could just pick one up like that.
Yeah.
Like no problem at all. Hey, Marco's here.
Oh.
Hold on. I'm bumbling my way through this. Hold on, guys. How do I do it? I don't want to get too many people on here, but add to stream. There you go.
There you go.
Marco, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Wristwatch check. What are you wearing there?
I gotta wear the Rolex, man. Come on.
Surprise.
No choice, no chance. I'm wearing the pan.
So, Marco, the Blnr. Okay, guys. So now the Blnr apparently, like I was wrong, right? You guys know this, right?
What about it?
About its. Well, I think it's going to. Okay, so Mark, you guys don't watch that stuff, but anyway, Mark Goldberg made a video where he leaked that the GMT is going to be changing, right? And then I made a video saying like, how could the GMT be changing, bracelets and stuff? But if you've seen,
the stuff,
Rolex Passion Report, it's coming back on the Oyster Bracelet.
We can get either or. It says here.
Really?
I'll pull it up for you. Yeah.
Okay.
That's what I've heard as well. That you're going to be able to get either the Jubilee or the Oyster.
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking.
Now, do you think that that's interesting that they've never really gone backwards, Rolex, have they? I'm trying to think of an example where
they've never gone backwards.
Right. It's almost like, are they admitting that it was a mistake to get rid of take it off Oyster? I don't know.
Yeah, but the GMT, at least the GMT Master 2, I mean, you always had a choice of an Oyster or a Jubilee.
True. That's true. So they're pretty much going back to their roots then.
If you hover over it, Austin, just click add to stream on the actual. There you go. So let me zoom in. You see how it says Oyster or Jubilee?
Yeah, I never caught that. Awesome.
Yeah, so
okay.
the first image I'm pretty sure that they showed, hold on, let me go. It was this, right? You probably saw this here. So this is totally cut off, but this is the full. Yeah. That's why people were speculating it might be white gold also because of the polished center links, but no, it's still steel because look at the reference 126710. It's steel.
As Rooted Rotor is saying, you can choose either or. You just can't buy the watch.
Right. Unless you
take whichever one comes to you.
Exactly.
Yeah, but it's easy. You just go to RSC after that. You can buy it immediately, right? The bracelet.
That's what I'm wondering too, right? How would they go about it?
Ooh,
what if people already have a Batman or a Batgirl and they want to purchase a Jubilee or an Oyster? Would they?
I think that's only in Japan, Austin. The RSC's here. I don't think they're gonna be letting you swap bracelets.
Yeah, but if you want to add one, it would be crazy not to be able to do that. Like, I know what you're saying, Blue Shirt, but just like if you look at, Rolex etiquette, RSC etiquette, then they look at the watch and they were like, could it have been born like that? And if it could have been born like that, then you could do it. That not to say that they'll let you walk out with the extra one. They might say, well, you got to give us that one.
Exactly. Exactly.
Right? That's the
thing. There's always a caveat with Rolex.
I have a question for you guys now. What do you think as far as now the Batman, right? That bracelet doesn't fit on the next generation on the Jubilee, correct?
Correct.
Now, is this new one that accepts both going to be totally different than either or? Like, let's say the reason I'm asking is I have the back rail from 2020. Mm-hmm. Am I screwed now as far as getting this, swapping it out for an Oyster?
You are.
The future?
Don't put it past Rolex to be hunty like that.
Yeah, because you can't put that. You can't put the 116710 on the 126710. You can't do it, and so obviously, you're not going to be able to do that because they don't want you doing that. They don't want you like slapping an Oyster bracelet. I'm sorry, Jubilee bracelet on. So yeah,
right.
Which JJ, I mean, that was one of the things we were talking about. Is this going to make the 116710 Blnr less attractive? You know what I mean? Like, I know it doesn't change yours. Well, I don't know. I mean, would you want to upgrade so you could have the Jubilee bracelet?
No, I'm saying I have the 2020, so it has the Jubilee bracelet. What I'm saying is when this new one comes out, will I be able to put an Oyster bracelet on mine, or is this third generation going to be even different? The pins will be totally different than the first and mine. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, obviously, I don't know. I'm shaking my head like I know. I don't know. All right, but it wouldn't make any sense unless they were coming out with a different reference number. You know what I mean?
Smart money is that they move the holes ever so slightly so that nothing lines up and nothing will fit and you can't swap out.
Right. That's what I'm thinking too.
No. I don't think so, guys. Because
the reference is the same though. Andy T just put it in the chat. So that's one thing. Unless they change the reference.
Right.
I don't think they can do it.
If the reference is the same, I would agree that this is.
Yeah, listen to Marco. Listen to Marco.
No, it's not me. I take zero credit. Andy T put that in the chat, right? I think he's right.
Yeah. But what I thought you were talking about, JJ, is I thought you had the 116710, the older Blnr, and obviously you wouldn't be able to get a Jubilee bracelet like that. I mean,
correct.
So
Austin,
all right, guys. Yeah.
Can I ask you something?
Depends on the question. Go ahead.
No. Yeah, I wanted to ask you. I'm gonna have this watch. Hopefully. I don't want to reveal when, but let's say within a couple of months, right? Within 2 months.
Blnr.
Yeah. So the background, crazy circumstances.
I know.
MGT is selling me one at retail, which is just ridiculous. I mean, I can't believe it. God bless him. I love him. What do you think, man? A sub and a Blnr?
I think you're a lucky motherfucker, man.
I know. I still can't believe it.
Indeed.
Marco, I'll be honest. I was fucking jealous as hell for like a good 24 hours. Like I was like, fuck it. I was so jealous. And then I thought I was like, yeah, you deserve it. Because like I said in the thing, you really you never came to this whole watch YouTube thing from any other point that you just were helping out Archie and you just got on for the love of watches. You never trying to make a buck out of it. So if anybody could have the good fortune that you have, I really do think you deserve it. So after that, I was like, fuck, awesome.
Yeah, that was wild. I don't think anybody expected anything like that.
I mean, I think how many times did I cry, JJ, live on air? Like 3 times? That was ridiculous.
I may cry again. Twice, give us another one.
No, but
give us some tears now.
Austin, my thought is I think it's a perfect 2-piece because I'll have the sub, which is more like a tool watch, right? It's all brushed stainless steel. It's got the older model. It's got the thicker or the older movements, the thicker lugs. And this is totally different, right? Jubilee bracelet, new movement. I love the point of difference, right? So it's like old and new in the modern, I guess. But absolutely insane stuff.
Yeah, I totally agree. I think you're gonna, maybe you don't know it now, but I think you're gonna enjoy the functions on that watch. Like I said, the date. I mean, I think you sort of downplay the lack of a date, in my opinion. You maintain that you don't really need a date.
Yeah, I really prefer no date watches, but since it's got a 72-hour power reserve, I don't mind. You know what I mean?
Well, hold on.
Because I don't want to be changing dates.
Why do you prefer no date watches?
I love the symmetry. It's just simple wind and wear. Wind, set, and wear.
Yeah. Well, there's a point to be made there, but I find that kind of fades, but then functions don't. You always need the date, but after a while, it's like, yeah. I think I got a super chat here from Andy T. I see people putting the sub bracelet on the 126710. Is that really possible? Geez, I've never seen that.
No, it's not. It's 21 millimeters versus 20, right? The new one is 21 millimeters.
Correct.
Okay, hold on.
Correct.
The lug width is 21, so it's impossible unless you want to wear a smaller bracelet.
What?
And the case is different. The holes must be different in terms of where you.
Well, hold on a minute. Like the 126710 is the 40 millimeter GMT, and so I think he's talking about the previous sub.
Right, but I still think it's impossible, right? Because the lug width is different. I mean, even on this, what's the lug width on a 126710? It's 20, right?
Yeah, it is.
Right. So how is that possible, right?
Well, what's the lug width of yours?
Oh, it's 20, right? Huh.
So I think it should be possible. Guys, will you hold down the fort while I get another beer?
Sure.
Yeah. Should I give you guys? Should I give you guys? Wes, what's a good question to talk about? While I leave you guys, I don't just like leave you in the lurch. I want to give you guys something to talk about. Boy, talk about putting Wes on the spot. Sorry, man.
Yeah, I know. You guys are starting to get a little into the weeds for me, but no, I mean, we didn't really get their thoughts on some of the other things that are coming up. Like, for example, the Explorer, since they've come into the chat, like kind of what are your thoughts on what they're going to do with that? I'm still curious to see. That's the one thing we know for sure that's going to happen.
Yeah. I want to talk about that. So guys, talk about the Cellini line. Like, do you guys think I've heard the Cellini line is being discontinued for the Vienna line? The only reason I say that is because I want to talk about the Explorer too. So go.
Cellini. I mean, not much to say about the Cellini. Let's be honest with one another. It's how does Archie put it? Toxic sludge, right? It's toxic sludge. So
I think they're making a good move if they go to a Vienna and do like a dress chronograph. It's better than
let me
what
pull
they
that
have
up
now.
for people who don't know.
I don't know about what you guys think, but
the Cellini's a beautiful dress watch that nobody loves and is underappreciated.
How do you spell it?
And it wouldn't surprise me if they discontinue it and come out with a new dress watch.
Now, do you think taking it to a sports chronograph, a dress chronograph, would be a better step for them, like a more popular decision?
Well, that's one of the rumors that's floating around that's what this Vienna will be. Will be a dress chronograph.
Right. I think I saw that on Federico said that. Pretty sure.
Yeah.
But
they've been teasing this also. I don't know what you guys think. That annual calendar chronograph from Rolex, like that, they might bring this back. Do you put any stock into this?
Again, Rolex is not one that really goes backwards, but
right.
You never know. You never know. That was a cool watch.
But doesn't it compete with the Daytona range? I mean, that's one thing I have to say that Rolex doesn't do is they don't cannibalize their own products. You know what I mean? Like Omega has the Aquaterra, the Seamaster, and I even think that the Globemaster, which all kind of compete, are like the Globemaster and the Seamaster don't compete, but the Globemaster and Aquaterra kind of compete with each other, in my opinion. So they're cannibalizing almost each other, and Rolex doesn't do that with their own products.
Yeah, it's tough to see this coming back. To be honest, I don't think it is.
Right.
But
the only complete calendar that they have is the Sky Dweller. So who knows? Who knows?
Yeah, I agree. And what do you think about the new Sky Dweller? Look at that. Look at the pictures. Look at this. Oh my goodness. Tacky. What do you guys think?
It doesn't do much for me, to be honest, personally.
No,
it makes perfect sense.
Yes, I agree. Yeah, because it's got the Jubilee bracelet and the
fluted bezel.
Yeah. I mean, this goes so well together, and maybe that's what Tanzio was talking about when he was like, "Is that the Datejust killer or the Day Date killer?"
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it does seriously encroach in the territory of the date just.
Yeah.
It looks so natural that I saw that
Yeah.
that picture and I was like, I honestly didn't know what was different with it.
My only thing is, do you think they'll use this, Austin, to put a Jubilee on the root beer? Because the root beer historically was on Jubilee, right?
No, the best thing about the root beer was the Jubilee.
That's the one thing, Marco, that the root beer needs is the Jubilee.
Yeah,
right. That's what I'm thinking. Right? They're using this as a way. They're using this as a way to get an idea of what people think of the two-tone Jubilee, and then they'll put on the root beer.
No, I don't think this is a test of. I don't think they do tests like that. No, yeah.
I mean, if anything, they already put it on the steel version of the Batman, the Jubilee, so they could go. The next step could be the root beer. Yeah,
I mean, I agree with Austin. It's not a test. If they're going to do it, then they're just going to do it. But that root beer belongs on a Jubilee.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, root beer and Jubilee, like nothing goes.
Yep.
Together better. I mean, the 5-digit root beers, it's almost a different watch. I mean, it's like the Oyster Braceleted ones are okay, but the Jubilee braceleted ones are amazing. I mean, amazing.
Agreed.
And so if they were to come out with a current root beer on a Jubilee, I think that would be so cool. I don't know if they ever will.
So Austin, should we? Yeah. That's a good segue into the Explorer 2 talk. I'd love to get your thoughts.
Yes. Let's talk about it.
Again?
Yeah.
We're starting the second hour here, so we gotta recycle.
Yeah,
well,
I mean,
for all the guys who missed the first hour, you know.
Do you guys think I have any problem with repeating myself? I mean, you watch my videos. You haven't seen the edited ones either, the unedited ones. Okay, so yeah, thank you for pulling that up, Marco. Marco, you are Archie's right, man. I mean, you're helpful.
I do this all the time. It's no worries.
Marco's great. He's a godsend. When I do it, I don't know how the heck to do
this. This is my favorite mock-up, by the way. Because this one with the Steve McQueen style bezel, I think is too. It doesn't look good. It's like mixing modern materials and vintage design. It looks tacky.
I agree. Yeah, that was on. Now, did you see what Philip Stahl did at Rolex Passion Report with? I think it was his own Explorer 242 millimeter. I think he had it polished down and then he had it laser engraved
on his Instagram, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, just tell me when to stop scrolling.
Yeah.
This one here?
I think it's that.
No. Keep going down. I think this is a real thing that he actually did. I think he actually like pop. Here, maybe I can. Huh.
Here, maybe I could just search it up on Google. Rolex Passion Report.
Yeah, do that because I saw it just the other day. It looked real. I thought he did it. I thought it was a 42 millimeter Explorer 2 with, the older 1655 bezel. We'll see it.
Here, I can just go through the images, I guess. Let's see. These are my favorite. I really think this is the way to go if you're going to do a ceramic bezel. I don't know.
Let's talk about that. Let's talk about that.
Is it this one here?
I hope they don't do a ceramic bezel.
That's it.
This one here? I don't love these. I really don't like the lines. I don't know about you guys. It's too old. It's old-fashioned.
But guys, they're not going to do the lines.
Right.
They're not going to do the lines. I'll show you why. Because, let's see. Hold on a minute.
And there's also the floating hands on these, right? Which looks like they're going to get rid of those on these mock-ups. You see that?
Yeah, I don't know. But here, give me one moment, guys. Hold on.
I just don't see how they're going to they're not going to leave one model with a steel bezel anymore. It just...
Why?
It's a lot.
There's only one model that's 39 millimeters. There's only one model with a steel bezel.
No, I'd like that to stay with the steel bezel is what I'm saying. I just I don't see why they would take that away for the people who like steel bezel. You know what I mean?
Right.
So-
That's they've done away with steel bezels on everything else. You keep one model with it. We were talking about earlier that maybe they put a tungsten bezel on it, so it's a little more scratch resistant.
Yeah, that would be cool if they introduce a new type of steel material, a new type of metal.
But check this out, guys. You can clearly see the arrow.
Yeah, the triangles. Right? Yeah, you can see it.
Yeah. The triangle, yeah. And so it seems to be like a done deal. Now, wouldn't this be crazy if Rolex was trolling us and it actually came out with the lines? Wouldn't that be because
I mean, I doubt it. They wouldn't put on their official marketing stuff. You know, they spend money to produce this.
Yeah, they're giving you the hint there. I mean, you could see it. Like I didn't notice it until you pointed it out, but you could see it clear as day. Like too.
Guys,
I mean, I don't think they expected people to like enhance the image like this.
Yeah,
if I'm being honest. Otherwise, they wouldn't have given this away. If I'm being totally honest,
I agree.
I don't know if they give this stuff kind of stuff away.
Blue shirt. I mean, I see black Cerachrome here. I mean, do you maintain that it's not going to be Cerachrome looking at this picture?
No, I'm just saying that I hope they don't do it. Will they do it? Yeah, there's a distinct possibility that they do. I just hope that they keep it a steel bezel.
Well, that could also just be a shadow blue shirt, right? Because
it could be.
You see how
because there's a harsh line. You see how there's a harsh line though?
Yeah, but it looks like it's steel around that line. I don't know.
Here, go back to it. You see that harsh black line?
Yeah,
and then there's the steel.
Yeah, but you see above the crown, like it looks like it's steel, and that right above the crown, and then it could, I don't know.
Right, so that's what we're
and
thinking.
All the way to the left, that looks like steel.
Right. The way it's reflecting the light off of it.
Yep.
So the thing that we're contemplating is it a ceramic insert?
Yeah, you're right.
But I mean, a ceramic insert is highly improbable. I think we're just that's pure conjecture at that point.
I think they could lean towards putting ceramic. I'm not saying I don't want them to, but I think it's definitely a possibility. I mean, everything else has moved to ceramic. I know a lot of people say they'll get crushed in cave diving and all that stuff, but
nobody's doing that anymore, right?
Yeah, realistically,
well, except for tools nowadays, right?
Yeah,
they're not tools. They're made for tools.
I don't think too many people are taking these watches splunking anymore.
Right.
I mean, what I said earlier, not necessarily a prediction, but just a wish would be to keep the steel. JJ, I'm kind of with you. Like, add to the line. Daytona has steel. They've added ceramic. Keep the steel for those who want it to stay true, and then offer two colors in the ceramic. Expand the line.
Right.
Maybe
leave something for people who want a steel bezel. I mean,
and that I see what you're saying. I mean, you can see that edge looks like something. It's either the light or that's steel, and it's an insert. But we'll find out soon enough.
Right.
And Austin, let me ask, what do you think about the size? 42 millimeters. You think they're going to maybe shrink it a little bit? Because a lot of people complain it's too big.
Unfortunately,
that watch is perfect. You got to have, I know a lot of you guys have smaller wrists, but I own that watch, and it sat perfectly on the wrist. It was the perfect size, and Rolex never goes backwards size wise.
See, I wound up selling mine because I felt like it was just too big on my wrist. I wish it was like a 41. That would be, to me, I would be super happy if they made it 41. But I get it. The guys with bigger wrists wouldn't want that.
41. I want to make going back to 40, but yeah, I agree it's not going to happen, and I just think it's not going to happen because what other 42 millimeter watch do you have in the collection?
Well, the Sky Dweller is 42 as well.
Ah, that's right. Okay,
but that wears bigger.
It's not a Sky Dweller. Okay, but it's not a sports watch, and so it's kind of a different aesthetic. Mm-hmm. And so, like, I definitely am repeating myself now, but I don't think you guys we're on. But there's something for everybody. So if you're selling a Rolex watch and some rich guy comes in and he's like, yeah, I don't know, this 41 millimeter OP is too big. Well, then you can go down to 40 with the Air King with the Milgauss. You can go down to 39 with the Explorer. You can go up to the 41 millimeter. You can go down to 39 with the 39 with the Milgauss. You can go down to 39 with the Explorer. You can go down to 39 with the Milgauss. You can go down to 39 with the Explorer. You can go down to 39 with the Milgauss. You can go down to 39 with the Explorer 2. You can go even higher to the 43 millimeter Sea Dweller, or James Cameron at 44 millimeters. So it's like it's perfect for, and if you think about somebody and they're like, yeah, I like this 42 millimeter watch, but like I want something a little more dressy. Well, then you got the Sky Dweller. You know what I mean? So to change it would just, again, make no sense. But then I made a whole video about how illogical that leak was from Mark Goldberg. And I'm wrong, man. I mean, I'm fucking embarrassed about that now because it looks like it's coming on an Oyster Bracelet after all.
Well, Austin, I don't think you're totally off the mark. I mean, they just updated the GMT a couple of years ago, right? And I mean, usually their product life cycle is a little bit longer than a couple of years.
Yeah.
And no one out there is gonna say, "Oh, I saw this coming a mile away" as well. It's like once the leaks came out, it was like, okay, this is gonna happen. So you're not off base.
Yeah, it was also it seems if we're right, well, and I think Marco proved it with that text at the bottom. You can choose either or, so it's more like an addition versus like, oh, we're going back. So anyway. I'm a big boy. That's okay. I can.
Hey, Austin, I've got to step away, man. I really appreciate you having me on. Thanks to you guys as well. We'll have to do this again soon. Again, thanks again for having me on here.
Wes, thank you. Take care.
Have a good night.
Enjoy that Hulk. All right, guys. Anthony was on, but he's gone now. Does anybody know who Anthony is?
No clue.
From the Timepiece channel? No, I'm just messing.
I didn't see a face, so I wasn't sure.
Yeah, I saw it in the private chat, but I don't know. It just said Anthony. I'm not sure.
Yeah, well, Anthony, if you're on and you want to try to get on again, should I put the link in the chat? Maybe I will.
Again, it's your show.
So
I'm gonna jump off in a little while. But,
okay, no problem, man. Marco, so if you get a chance to choose between the Jubilee or the Oyster Bracelet for your upcoming Blnr, which would you go for?
Jubilee, because I got the Oyster on the sub. Yeah. And it's a little bit, let's be honest, a little bit dressier. I'd probably wear that more so on special. I'd still wear it, kind of as a daily. There's no reason not to, but, I'll probably wear it to like dressier events, that kind of thing. And I have my PAM also for that. But yeah, I want like the Oyster and the Jubilee. I want both. And they say the Jubilee is the best bracelet in the business, besides the President bracelet.
It's an amazing bracelet.
Super comfortable. Very comfortable.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's my favorite bracelet.
I also like that you don't see if you scratch up the polished center links. You know what I mean? You'll see
it definitely hides the scratches.
And it hides the polished parts as well. So right. Not bling, you don't have those big mirror finishes of the Oyster.
Yeah, I have the same type of combo that Marco was talking about. I have my GMT is on the Jubilee, and then I have the Cermet on the Oyster.
So looking at this, and Marco, pull this up. So this
is gonna happen. Pipe dreams. These are pipe dreams.
Oh, it looks so real. I mean,
yeah,
so real.
Yeah, there's no way this happens. This is just like a mocked up Steve McQueen Explorer 2, right?
No, but I think. Hold on a minute. Hold on. So my cat's using the litter box. All right, hold on. I got to put her on camera, guys. You need a milking, don't you? Okay. No, you don't. So I remember seeing Rolex Passion Report, and it says something like he ground down the bezel and then had it laser engraved to the old 1655 look.
I wish I could find that. I mean,
yeah, don't worry about it. But
I guess
so it might be real. Which I think that's it actually.
It has to be, right? Or something close to it.
Yeah,
maybe this one. It might be this one.
No, because I think that might be a mock-up. But whatever. I mean, like it's cool. So
yeah. Let's take the Steve McQueen bezel. I prefer this one.
Yeah. Well, my first reaction was like, God, you ruined your watch. But then, no, you didn't, because you can just get a new bezel, so it's not that big of a deal. But I think that look would would be so much better on the 40 millimeter over the 42. I don't know why I say that, because
again, it's all conjecture and a pipe dream, and everybody would love it, but they're not doing this.
No, they're totally not doing it. 100% Blue Shirt. They're not doing. We've already seen the arrows, so they're 100% not doing that.
Yeah.
But I don't even think it looks good. But
I mean, most Rolexes look good also. So anyway, you kind of cut them, it's gonna be good look. This is the most interesting. That to me is the most interesting. I don't know what you think.
Let's see. Well, what do you guys like, the black or the white dial?
Hold on, let me see if I can't pull up a picture where that's the one. There you go. I prefer the black, to be honest.
This whole mock-up really doesn't do it for me, if I'm being honest. I just don't like it.
I mean, if I had to choose one, I would go the Polar, but that's just me. But I agree with JJ. Neither one really does anything for me.
Now, do you think they're going to have a green GMT hand?
Yes.
For the anniversary?
Yes.
That'll make me like it more. That'll definitely make me like. It reminds me almost like the GMT, the black had the green hand. You know what I mean?
Correct.
I do miss that.
Yep, 50th anniversary. They have to put green in there somewhere.
Speaking of which, Austin, how's that stick dial black hunt going for you?
Well, I got a guy. I think his name is the username Wargasm, and he said he just sent me an email about a 2009 116710 LN that has a stick dial, and he's giving me first right of refusal. So we'll see how much he wants to, fist me for that.
Nice.
I was I don't even know if I want to ask you the question on air because I don't want to mess up your deal, but I was just about to ask you.
You got a super chat.
You missed it too.
All right. If there's something green on it, I'm going on the 5-year waiting list for sure.
There you go.
Mr. 2, that's from Mr. 2. I don't know. Guys, green is going to make it look, the white and the green looks like St. Patrick's Day to me. I don't know. Minty. It looks minty. It makes total sense to do that, and it would be odd not to do it, but I don't know. I mean, we'll see, but
I've never seen a mock-up of how it would look like a white dial on a green, like the Polar with the green hand might look a little bit weird, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, it looked minty to me.
Yeah, I don't know. I can't find any mock-ups of it either. I've never seen a mock-up with a green hand. Nobody's ever done it.
What if they do a green dial with the orange hand?
No.
Then that's really St. Patrick's Day then.
Yeah, that would be
a bit tacky.
It would be a spit in the face to the sub.
They said ID guy made the mock-up with the green hand.
He did. I think I saw that. Yeah. JJ, you were asking a question.
Right. I was going to ask you, how much more do you think it's worth to pay for a stick dial as opposed to the regular black with a Roman numeral hand, the regular Roman numeral? Do you think it's actually worth more, or is it because it's more rare, or is it just something you're after?
Well, I mean, there's no intrinsic worth to it. You know what I mean? And it's like, and so basically what you're asking is like, how much would I pay for it? I'd probably pay like $1,000 more for it. But what the question comes down to is like, what do other people think it's worth? You know what I mean?
Right. I'm just curious if there's a premium because there are less of them out there in the world. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Okay. I mean, if you're here in Japan and the people here in Japan that have the shops, I mean, they're really up on their specialty things and the fluke models and their idiosyncratic Rolexes, and so they'll have a high price on it because they're looking for you
right.
Find it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so, the prices that you see are not reflective of the actual worth, except are they? I mean, so you might be asking me, like, personally what I would pay for that, and it's probably the only question you can really ask and get a serious answer to. I would pay $1,000.
Well, I'm curious to hear your opinion because you're a guy who values the fact that it's more rare. So I'm curious, like the average Joe wouldn't give a shit which. Oh, excuse me, I don't mean wouldn't care. Which
on.
Right, he wouldn't give a shit which dial he got. Right, I mean, he wants a black GMT. He doesn't care. But you're a guy who's stickler for detail. You're into the history of the watch. You know your ins and outs. Mm-hmm. To a guy like you, what is that worth to get the premium, the more exclusive dial, if you will?
To me, I would pay, honestly, okay, so I would pay $1,000, probably more. That's sort of my cutoff point. And then obviously, like if I went there and it was a little bit over, and for example, it had never been polished or serviced, I'd pay more for it. You know what I mean? Right. But if it had been polished badly, shit, I might not even touch it. It could be regular price, and I might not even want it. So, yeah, but I'd say about 1,000 is what I would do.
That's about fair. All right. Yeah, I was curious because I've seen a few actually. What made me think of it was I actually found one, and I don't think it wasn't like labeled that it had. I just examined the dial, but it was closer to 2,000 over the next one I found. That was a pretty good deal.
So. Anthony is back. Anthony, I don't see your face. Don't whip out your pieces.
All right. You know what, guys? I'm going to take off. It was nice talking to you all. Austin, it's always a pleasure, my friend.
Blue shirt, man, you were the first one on the channel. Thank you for doing it. I really appreciate it. I love you, man.
All right. Take care, guys.
Good night, Blue shirt. Take care.
Good night.
Take care, man.
All right. So, Anthony, how are you?
Good. How are you, Austin?
Good. And I'll try to get you big, which you probably don't want to be big, but
I don't care.
You're in the spotlight now. Now, how are you, man? So, who are you?
Oh, heavy hitters are coming out already.
Right, man.
Coming on with the bang.
Who am I? I'm just a watch collector like everybody else, right?
Yeah. So you watch my channel then?
Yeah, I've been watching you since the mullet and the mustache time.
Have you? Right. Excellent. Excellent. So
I go all the way back.
You gotta bring that mustache back, man.
Well, if you gotta,
I want to tell you two of my favorite things you ever did on your stream. One was getting your daughter the Tokyo banana at the airport, and the other was when you said hi to the girl after having a few beers when you were walking. You were asking people what they thought of Rolex, and then you had a few beers and you were walking away and you said, "Yeah, I said hi to her."
She was the one eating the ice cream, right?
I think so. You were just walking across the street.
Yeah,
well, that was more recent. That video, wasn't it?
Which one? Ginza?
With the ice cream, wasn't that a more recent video?
Oh, probably 2 years ago or a year and a half ago.
Yeah. I think I remember that girl. Yeah, no, I was stone cold sober for that, and that was in, I think it was Shibuya, or Shinjuku, and I walked out. I was like, because I wanted to sort of I don't know, include some sort of Japanese life in there, and then I saw this girl eating ice cream, and it's cool, man. Those are I'd like to do that more. In fact, I've got a few ideas to incorporate sort of Japanese culture and watches. We'll see if
what video I was thinking of when you were in the subway and you went to the other Rolex dealer on the other side of the subway.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't you like say hello to somebody in that video at the end, like when you were waiting? I don't know. Maybe I'm cracking up. That's the one.
Man, I don't know, man. I mean, like the thing, what you guys haven't seen, and it's gone. I deleted it. Was when I was in Amsterdam, and do you guys remember? I did I drank gin, okay, and I had a meatball or something like that, and then I went out, and you can find that it was like gin tasting in Amsterdam. Okay, find that video. That's me. But the aftermath is what you guys didn't see. And I went out into the streets of Amsterdam, and I remember going up to beer gardens. I had the Explorer 2 on, drunk as a skunk, going, "I love Rolex. What do you have? What do you have? Let me see your watch." Some guy fucked with me, and he was like, "Oh, I got a good watch. I got a good watch." He must have been like I think he was an Aussie guy, or I don't know what he was, and he showed me this big Invicta, and his friends just burst into laughter. And anyway, it was a mortifyingly embarrassing video. I was so drunk, but anyway, so what's the new topic? I've got one more beer to drink. Do you guys want to
hold up?
Go ahead.
Sorry,
I wanted to show you my my Daytona from the side profile. It's got the ceramic bezel. I wanted to show you, the reason I wanted to get on there was I wanted to show you from the side how the ceramic could look like steel and compare it to what we're seeing a lot of with the GMT2 speculation. How it could be steel, it could be ceramic. If you give me a second, I'll get that watch and I'll show it to you.
Absolutely.
Yeah. If anything, Austin, you know how to pull them up full screen?
Let's see.
So if you hover over his icon at the bottom, yeah, exactly. So
yeah.
You see there's that like person profile at the top left?
Right.
There you go.
Cool. I got it.
So we can pull them up full screen.
I'm new to this, man.
No worries. No worries. I do this every night.
Marco's the live streaming pro, Austin. He knows all the ins and outs.
Okay.
So I don't know what it means to you, but if you were to overexpose this thing, oversaturate it, where you see the light reflecting.
You're not at your face. Here, move it up because your face is in focus, but your watch is not.
I don't know if my camera will do it.
Just some kind of reflection.
Yeah, I don't know.
You got to keep it steady.
But we see what you mean. We see what you mean. Like you see how it's like there's a, but I mean I still see the clear separation, right? I don't know about you guys.
What's the question, guys? What's the question?
I think he's just saying it's very similar to the picture you pulled up of the Explorer, and it could be a ceramic insert.
It could be, but there's also enough white and enough light reflecting that it could look like steel if you really cranked up the saturation on it.
Right. I think he's talking about this one, right? Hold on. Whoops, wrong one.
Right, that image you had pulled up earlier.
Yeah, this one right here.
That's the one.
Yeah, I mean, I made a whole video about like that. That's a metal ring, and now that I look at it, I don't see that. So Anthony, I think you might be correct there, and I think I might have gotten that one wrong. So let me read Mr. 2's super chat. Austin, the Omega Rising Sun Tokyo 2020 thoughts on this. A friend of mine who takes edibles said his wife thinks it's bad luck in Asian culture. All right, so he must be talking about Tim.
Yes, he is talking. Me and Tim had this debate the other day, Austin. So
it's here. Let me focus on that. That, like I said, I mean, I'm repeating myself now, but it's a beautiful watch, and that's my favorite of the 2020 Speedmasters. And I remember seeing that for the first time, and I thought it was so cool. And that's before that I knew about the other models. And so, it's got an awesome nickname, the Rising Sun. It's got the red as in the red of the Japanese flag. I know it's got a gray though, it's not quite, but still it's I will tell you this, JJ, that when I went to an Omega retailer, the guy there who was working behind the desk, he had his own personal red bezeled, what is that called? The Rising Sun. He had one.
That's like a nickname for it, I think, though. I don't think it's an official anything.
Yeah.
Right. So, I think it's just because it's the same as the Japanese flag, right? That's the idea with the red is red.
Mm-hmm. They say also it represents the ring in the Olympics, the red ring. So,
but they all do.
Right.
There's multicolored rings, the green ring and then the gold. Yeah. So they all do that. But yeah, I think that's, if I had to put my money on like what the Japanese love, it clearly would be that one, except for, of course, the Panda, which I think people are speculating on that one. But again, as I said it previously, I mean, it depends on what happens with these older models. If they kind of dribble out onto the pre-owned market at discount prices tanking. But if Omega says, we're kind of do right by this, and the second the Olympics ends, we're gonna absorb them from the authorized dealers, then things like the green bezeled one, I think will be amazing. That's a beautiful watch. It looks a lot like the Kermit in a way, because it's got that anodized, right? Yeah, but it depends on what they do with the leftovers. Okay, because if the leftovers just stay on the market, detrimental. If the leftovers are absorbed, then
the dogs become the winners, right?
Exactly. Yeah, because nobody's buying the green one. Go ahead, Marco.
I think another point that JJ brought up, and I think he's pretty right in it, is that the other two that are in steel, right, is the Panda. They've done the Panda Speedmaster so many times, and then the other one was the Blue Dial, right? They've done the Blue Dial also so many times, right?
Gemini
so it's
4, they did a bunch of blue ones like that.
Right. So this one is just so distinct, which is why I think it's the sleeper of all of them. But let's not spook them too much. I want to buy one in a couple of years from now. let's keep them attainable, guys. Come on, I want to buy one of these things.
Right. Yeah.
By the way, I texted Archie. He said he's at the bank.
He's at where? Where is he?
Okay, so he'll try to make
bank.
Yeah, he's at his bank safe.
He's swapping out. He's swapping out watches.
Thanks. Yeah. All right. Swatching a watch. Yeah, I do that as well. I just went. I'd go the first of the month, wind the watches. I've got some footage. I'm going to make a video about that. The bank safe.
That would be cool. I don't think I've seen that before.
I've actually got footage in it where I have it. I'm sort of scared to put it up, but I don't think I have any sort of footage or numbers or anything that but yeah, you'll be able to see pouches in a metal box, which yay. But it's an experience getting a bank safe here in Japan because they're. Go ahead, Marco.
Do you have one of these? It's a phosphorus roll.
Yeah, I saw that on the chat.
This smells so good. But I'm giving 2 away, Austin. So if you enter, maybe you can win one.
If I got it, it would delegitimize the contest.
Right, it would be nepotism.
Of course, it'd be like, oh, I got it. Like when I won from a Rat Skunk the haiku contest, I won it.
Got a super chat coming in, Austin.
Thanks, man. But my haiku is awesome, so I stand by that. Should I buy an Omega Michael Schumacher Racing Speedmaster red dial with a 5 red and 2 blue, or should I buy the 329.30.44.
Pull that for you.
Something Racing Speedy? God, man, you're asking the wrong guy.
Here, I pulled up that other model, the one with the reference. If you want to look at it,
the reference number is so long.
Right.
Yeah, they are.
So this is the second one that he mentions.
Look, I would. That's the second one.
Yeah, that's the 329.30. Blah blah blah.
Look, I would. Can I see the other one? I just want to see a visual of it.
Right. So buy an Omega. Okay, I think I know which one he's talking about.
While you're doing that, Marco, let me just say that. Look, I think didn't Schumacher get hurt recently? I mean, he's out of the game.
Yeah, he's finished. He's a vegetable, isn't he? With all due respect, of course.
I know. Yeah, I've seen that. I've seen this. It's dirt cheap. Don't get it. I've seen that, and I've never liked it. I'll tell you why. Because do you see how when you look at it, it's not a complete circle? Because it's not. You got those subdials that are edging over, and it just.
Oh yeah.
So visually, it doesn't do anything for me. Number 2, I think he's hurt, and I don't think it does well for the why. You know what I mean?
Anyone else feel like it also looks like McDonald's too? Like it looks like you get it in like a Happy Meal, the red and the yellow.
Let me tell you, I've seen that red dialed watch dirt cheap. That's beautiful. Is that the other one?
Yeah, that's the other Schumacher. This is also a Schumacher one.
That's really nice. Now I would much rather wear that. And then what's the other one he's talking about? I can sort of click on this.
So that's the long reference one you're talking about?
Yeah.
This is the one I had pulled up earlier. It's like that Panda, but it's got a coaxial movement, GMT at the 3 o'clock.
Well, I would go on that for a couple of reasons. Number one, I think it's more attractive. It's got the date. Number three, I think if you link the watch with a famous person, it's fine if good things happen. But like Schumacher got hurt, you know what I mean? I mean, I hate to like quote Trump, but like I prefer my heroes to like not be hurt. I hate to say it. You know what I mean?
Wait, does that make these not collectible? Hold on, let me.
Oh no, don't do it, Marco.
Do it, Marco. Do it. Challenge me. Let's fight.
These aren't collectible anymore.
Pulling up the Tiger Woods.
What? Tiger Woods?
Yeah, because he got hurt recently.
Right, he's finished. He's finito. So these aren't collectible anymore.
You guys are awful. Let me tell you.
Look, I've never been. It's a good move, Marco. I like that. You're trying to get the drop on me. I appreciate that.
Exactly.
But allow me to respond. I've never been a fan of the Tiger Hydronauts or this. I've never been a fan of them, even though people here in Japan will try to get more for their Tiger Hydronauts. Don't like them. But yeah, when Tiger Woods had his accident, I thought that's terrible. God, I so hoped he wasn't wearing his Rolex during that footage, and I don't know if he was or not. but that wasn't good, and I don't know if it was what it was. If it was just like he got unlucky, or prescription drugs, or he just went. I don't know what's going on, but disaster. And so, yeah, I would say.
Listen, they're still attractive, but I think they're a little bit too much of a Daytona ripoff.
See, the thing is, I mean, Tiger, like, I don't know, that's just lame. It's like, I don't know. Yeah, help me out, guys. I mean, come on.
I'm just glad Marco didn't pull out the Kobe Bryant Hublot. Then I would have been.
Oh, yeah. Stop it!
That would have been a low blow. That would have been too much.
We don't collect Hublot here. Come on, guys.
But like you got the Tiger Hydronauts. Okay.
Right.
You got the Tiger Hydronauts, and the worst thing about a Tiger Hydronaut is the association with Tiger Woods. I mean, like, Tiger Woods to me is a great golf player, but he's not a hero. Mm-hmm. I don't want anybody's name on my watch. Nobody. There's nobody. I mean, you name one person whose name I would want on my watch, and I can't think of it. Everybody's got their flaws and their weird things, and their screwing Waffle House waitresses in the parking lots of Waffle House, and all that stuff. I just.
Just another human.
You're right, exactly.
I'm putting you on the spot again, Steve McQueen.
Square watch. Well,
the Monaco, right?
No, but it's not on it, is it?
Square watches, man. I don't know. I don't like the square watches. Although I will say it's got a beautiful round part. The Steve McQueen.
This reminds me of Rosie from the Jetsons. Remember the Jetsons, Austin?
Rosie, yeah.
Well, it's kind of the same point, right? That's the point I was making. Is that Steve McQueen, God rest his soul, right? I mean, it's still a popular watch. Oh, we got Tim. Tim is in the chat. Awesome. Can you drop the link?
Absolutely. Look, Steve McQueen is really cool, but like I don't.
You don't want to date him?
I don't want to date him. Yeah.
Me neither. I hear you on that. I don't want another guy's name on my I'd rather have my own name on a watch.
I'm a man. I'm my own man, right?
Right.
This is
Austin,
what I really
can I ask you a question? I know we're doing all Rolex all day, but
here the link is up.
I'm curious what you think of those new Breitling releases. Very polarizing. Have you seen them at all?
No clue, man.
All right, never mind. They look very much like protected.
I'll pull them up.
I know more about Birkin bags than the Breitling release. Seriously, I know more about pink Birkin bags.
I don't know anything about those damn Birkins. I stay away.
God, the Birkins. Okay, guys. Hold down the fort. I'm gonna get another beer. Oh, hold on. Yeah, I'll be right back. Okay, guys.
All right, sounds good.
I love this. Look at this. Come on, guys. You can't tell me this
is Tim jumping on? We're gonna get the trio on here.
Yeah, we got the trio. Maybe AC3 will join us too. I don't know. He's at the bank station.
You should send him the. Oh, we don't have the link. Oh, you do have the link actually. You send it to him.
Yeah, we put the link.
Chat. There, we got it. You got to email it to him in his WhatsApp.
Oh, it's gonna be too difficult for me, JJ. I gotta get it on YouTube on my phone, download or copy the link.
No, I know what you mean. I was thinking the same thing. I wonder if Tim's backstage.
You really think this looks like a Patek Philippe?
I mean, I don't listen. I think it looks like a Patek Philippe, but like a bootleg version. You know, obviously it's not.
But I think it's distinct enough, JJ. Because again, it goes back to this idea: like, how can you say like watches in the same genre are complete ripoffs of each other? At the end of the day, right? It's like they're going to share a similar identity, regardless.
No, but this is a complete copy. Same Arabic numbers. The numbers are cut off in the same exact spots. All the subdials are placed in the same place. Each function of the subdial is exactly the same as the others. Everything is exactly the same.
Right, but there's a lot of people who make this kind of stuff, right? So like all annual calendars look very similar to Patek's annual calendars and so on, right? It's just the layout. It's what looks nicest, you know?
I just feel like it's exact. You know, when you look at something, you could tell like it's
like listen, the Zenith Chronomaster
like
Sport
you look
first,
at it, you say, I know what
right.
I know what you did there. I know what you did. You know,
like the Zenith Chronomaster Sport. Like at first I said, oh, it's not really a ripoff, but now that I look at it, I'm like, oh, this fucking shitter. This is a shitter. Total knockoff.
I wish I could pull up comments right now. I'm reading Toyota Mo. I'm dying.
I know, dude, he's killing me. The best lawyer doggy treats combined. That's right, guys.
And listen, I don't actually mind this watch for what it is. Like when this turns to dog crap and it's like $6,000 in a couple of years, I'll probably buy one.
This is gorgeous. I mean, look at that salmon dial. It's just absolutely
very
gorgeous.
Nice. I just won't pay $12,000 for it.
You know? Right.
Hopefully,
and then
in a couple of years when this
also.
is $6,000, I'll have enough money that I won't even want this. I'll just have a Patek.
Right.
You know.
And what do you think about this? Look at these.
Don't like
split seconds. You don't like split seconds chronos?
Well, I don't like that black and gold one you showed me. This one I like better. This is cool.
They made a mint one of like just a regular chronograph. My goodness, it's ugly.
They're just too tall. That's the only thing.
Right, too big, too thick.
Not the only thing, but that's the worst thing about them. I mean, when you're competing with Tudor GMT height, you know, the watch is just too tall, especially for a dress watch. Austin, what do you think? 15 mil tall for a dress watch? What do you think?
No. I mean, this right here, I struggle to get this under a dress shirt.
Right.
And I don't know what this is, but no, unacceptable. 15 millimeters.
Right. At least that's a sport watch on a steel bracelet. This is supposed to be a dress watch.
But see, here's the thing. I mean, that's Breitling. The whole point about a luxury brand is that they can do everything and they can do it well proportioned. And so, to me, when you go fatter as a luxury brand, that's an admission. Like we can't
fit it.
Right. So no, I wouldn't be into that as well. If you guys want to see the last beer, it's an EB. So I've had a couple of different beers today. So, nice. And I've also got this as well, which tell me this doesn't need to be finished off. Look at this.
Of course,
just
come on. Right? We got plenty of time. It's not
do I need to do push-ups too?
Right. It's not like I got essays to write, Austin. No worries.
I did my push-ups yesterday.
Right.
Those look vintage. Are this modern?
Yeah, it's another new release. People don't like it because it's a Patek. By the way, can I just say, Austin, can you check backstage? Maybe Tim is there. I don't know.
Oh yeah.
It's a 5170.
Tim.
Hey, what's up, Austin?
Hey,
we got the
Tim,
boys.
You stole my crew, Austin. Damn you!
You're never coming back. I'm employing Marco full time, and he's awesome. Marco, you got a job. I'll pay you pay you much more than these guys. Right?
They're great for ratings, man. You got.
No, Marco
That's
does
why
all the
I have
legwork,
them on. They're ratings gold.
Tim, what are you wearing before we talk about the Breitlings?
I'm wearing the Explorer 2 today because I'm waiting for the release of the new. Wait, let's see. My camera won't focus because I'm waiting for the release of the new Explorer 2s. Now, I've seen your prediction, and you said the ceramic bezel insert.
I'm committing to that. Yes.
Wow. Yeah, because Showcase listened to your advice, and he sided with you, and he said that he bet me a bottle of Creed Aventus fragrance.
Yeah, I think you might have to pay up.
Now, I mean, actually,
look, Tim.
Yeah.
He doesn't know what it smells like. Just take an old bottle, fill it up with Old Spice. Just send it to him. He'll be. Old Spice is awesome. He won't know any difference.
Actually, that's a great idea. I can actually buy a bottle of Club de Nuit Intense.
Intense.
That's a clone, right? I can switch it up, pour the club because it's only $30 and it smells almost exactly identical to Creed Aventus.
Exactly. He does never smelled it, so he won't know any different. So.
Yeah.
Tim, I got a bottle in my house. I could sneak it over to you in a week. Yeah. Hook you right up.
What the hell are we looking at? Is this?
Yeah, this is what I wanted to ask you. It's by Moser.
Wait! Don't say any. Fuck! I was gonna say. I want to guess what it was. I knew it was a Moser.
Sorry about that. I screwed up. I wanted to ask you, what's your opinion of these independents?
I mean, look, they make good watches and they're good watches and they're people who are trying to make a buck and I get that. I don't want to like crap on them, you know what I mean? But it's almost like the watch world has been established. Okay, it has been established through history, and unless you can come up with something amazing and groundbreaking, Grand Seiko, Spring Drive, then you're nothing but a follower, especially when it comes to mechanical watches. And so they can never catch up. They can never catch up. I mean, and so I think they're uninteresting. But okay, but what do you mean? What do I think of it? Like, do I like the aesthetics?
Yeah,
of
like
it?
would you ever own them or what have you? Like,
I could be rich as I could be Bill Gates and I'd never have one of these watches. No, never. I wouldn't, and I don't find the dial attractive. Look, I feel bad saying this because, I know they're just trying to make a good watch, right? And they're just trying to, and they make good watches, but it's sort of like it's over. You know what I mean? It's trying to like, it's just like trying to make a, I don't know, better language than, I don't know, whatever. My
no, analogy. I get you. My biggest fear, honestly, is like a lot of independent watchmakers like that have come and gone in the watch industry, and then you're just left with like a worthless watch almost, at the end of it. So like, because they go defunct, right? The whole point is like an FP Journe. The whole equity of the brand is the genius of that watchmaker. Once that watchmaker passes, you don't have that anymore. It's like Roger Dubuis nowadays, right? Roger Dubuis is, oh boy, it's awful.
Right. I think that what puts Rolex on the map is all the innovations that all these watches incorporate. And so that's what makes them timeless. It's like, all of the watches have the perpetual aspect, the screw down crown, the date window.
It's iconic.
Even if it's the bezel and it's still Rolex at least innovated it, and I mean there are other brands as well like Blancpain that made it unidirectional, but it's Rolex that had the, well, we're getting into the weeds here, but I don't want to make false statements and make them greater than they are, but that's what I think Rolex has brought to the table when it comes to mechanical watches so much that you can never take that away unless you have a paradigm shift of like, it's a whole nother, movement that doesn't even use like a hairspring, something that we haven't even really thought of yet.
Oh, well, did you see that Frederic Constant that just got released?
I haven't.
Oh, let me pull this up for you.
But again, when it comes to all of these watches, I mean, there is a lot of visual differences, and I think that's what we see. And I think,
they're working with this company, this hip company. So you see that silicon escapement up in California. And they're working with us. Oh, hold on, that's a horrible picture. Anyways, let's just pull this up. So it doesn't have a traditional lever escapement like you see in most watches. This is actually their escapement, and I think it beats at 288,000 beats per hour, super high beat rate, and it's insane. Like this movement is just nuts. It's a silicon oscillator, and it's like totally different from what everything in the watch industry is. But I would never get it. But this is really cool.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing about that. Okay, so if it truly is an innovation and it's not a gimmick, thumbs up. If it's a gimmick, not having it. Okay, and also, I mean, it depends on, like, part of that is service cost and stuff like that.
Yeah,
so
exactly, because the 40 hertz movement. I mean, can you imagine the friction between the parts? Jesus.
Wow. Yeah. I mean, have it serviced once a year or something. Again, is it a gimmick?
Yeah, that's my worry.
The question is it. Well, I was just going to throw out there, is the George Daniels movement a gimmick, or is it? I'm talking about the.
The coaxial escapement.
That's it. Yeah.
Listen, they're capitalizing a little bit on that because Omega wants to be seen as like a better watch company than Rolex, I guess you can say. Is it a gimmick? I mean, it has real kind of watch implications in terms of like, one, it requires less lubrication. Two, the friction between the parts is reduced. The service interval is upped as a result. I think overall, like, its effect on the movement is it just has like a more, what's it called? Like when the movement is obviously powered, like there's less friction between the parts, right? So I think it has a real world like kind of benefit, but they definitely are trying to capitalize on the idea that they're a better watchmaker, right?
Now, I've heard that they oil those movements because it means that they need servicing, and I've heard if they don't, they don't need servicing as much. But basically, they specifically make them so they do need to come into service, and that George Daniels actually made them so you don't need service. But they're like, we can't have that because we do that, we won't make any money. I don't know if that's a total conspiracy theory. I see you smiling there, Marco. What do you have to say about that?
Yeah, you know your stuff. So Roger Smith uses the same kind of movement, right, in his watches because obviously he's the protege. And as far as I know, his service intervals are like 10, 20 years or something like that because you just don't need to get them serviced. You know what I mean? That's the point. The friction between the parts and the oils, you don't have to. That's the whole point. The lubrication that's required is very minimal.
So it seems like
Jesus Christ, you're well read. I'm surprised.
Well, it seems like
this is his first rodeo. This ain't
rodeo. That just surprised me. I was like, whoa.
It's only because I said something knowledgeable about something
knows a lot
other
about
than
lubrication.
No, that's such a niche part of the watch. I mean,
okay.
He's a young guy, Tim.
I'm impressionable. Okay, yeah.
Which is weird for a young guy. You wouldn't need so much lubrication.
Tim, not everyone has an Asian wife like you and I. Okay, back on topic. Okay, but that's crazy that Omega has this beautiful creation and that they fuck it up because like they're greedy. I mean, right there, you lose me right there. I can't even have an Omega. I'm sorry, JJ. Your Tokyo Olympic. I liked it before, but thinking about it, this past 10 seconds. It's a shitter.
Shitter. It's okay. We're giving him heat. I was giving him heat earlier.
In the past 10 seconds, I've decided that JJ's Rising Sun has been decreased in value by 50%.
I guess I'm gonna have to keep it.
I guess.
You're never selling JJ.
But it doesn't. No, I mean, I'm kidding, of course, guys. But that's the worst thing a brand can do, and it's part of the world today. It's called embedded obsolescence, I believe is what it's called. And when you think about watches, I mean, it's the antithesis of what Rolex stands for. It's the antithesis of what any watch brand stands for. I mean, it's one of those things like if you find out a watch brand is doing that, has any part of that, that's game over. That's game over. And really, I mean, like, I don't know what to say. I mean, I will say this: if I found out that Rolex was doing that, and that was part of, for example, why they had the blue parachrome spring, because it corrodes and because you actually need to replace it after, say, 10 years. And I've heard that it doesn't last as long as. If I found out that was part of the equation, you'd see me walk. You'd see a 180 I would go 100% into pre-ceramic Rolexes. I'd never even look back, because I can't have that. I mean, the whole point of these is that they last as long as possible, and that you don't build in, the service time. I don't know. So I think I'm.
Yeah. And
No,
even
the point of these luxury goods that you overpay so that you buy once and you have it forever.
Right.
And then when if you find out something like this would be devastating.
Exactly. And of course they would say, but you do have it forever. You just have to take care of it, Tim. That's all. You just have to take care of it.
But Austin, even the modern Rolex, they got that new lever escapement, right? It's no longer like a Swiss lever escapement. It's a different, I forget what it's called. They call it some like ridiculous thing, but it's like a tri-armed pallet fork, right? So it's different from your traditional escapement. And that again is similar to the coaxial movement, where it's going to be less lubrication required and the friction is reduced between the parts, and it allows them to fit a bigger barrel in the movement. That's why you have the up power reserves now.
Yeah, well, I think, I mean, it was Rolex that went from putting a 5-year guarantee to a 10-year guarantee. Some in the past, 5 or 10 years,
correct,
on new watches. So when I heard that, I was like, that's awesome. I respected them so much for that. Oh my God, girls, hold on, don't come over here. I think I'm busted. The wife and the child are back. Hold on, wait, we're not quite completely done. Let's just turn this back there. All right, just man the fort.
We'll hold down the fort.
We'll hold it down for you, Austin. Don't worry.
Oh, no, don't put yourself full screen.
Yeah, you probably.
There you go. That's fine. That's perfect.
Yeah. Tim, you're muted, pal. Tim, you're muted.
I think he's talking to a stream.
I know I'm muted because I'm doing a stream within the stream.
Oh, it's like Inception.
Streamception.
Oh, you're dual streaming right now? Austin's going to sue you for the rights.
He's going to copyright claim him. Let's tell Austin to copyright claim. It's just going to be a second strike on the channel. Third one gets him off.
That's funny.
Oh.
Streamception, Logan Hall Road.
Right.
That's great. Oh, Austin's back, I think.
Our boy is back. There you go.
There we go.
All right, guys. Here. Sophie is back from... If you wondered like why I've been by myself, is because my wife went to the entrance ceremony of my daughter. Only one parent could go. Okay, and so I was manning down the fort. Sophie, you want to say hi to people?
Hi.
Oh,
Hello.
Here, have a seat right here. She's got your little school uniform on, and here, you gonna take this off? How are you?
Fine.
Yes. What Rolex brand is best? Think hard. Your will. The will depends on it.
I don't know.
Do you remember what kind of Rolexes I have?
No.
Oh, sorry, what kind of Rolexes I have? I think I gave her the answer. Okay. Thank you. Give me a hug. Did you have a good day at school?
Mm-hmm.
Good. Okay. I'm going to finish my live show, okay?
Bye.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Oh my God!
Adorable,
right.
Austin.
This was surprised. This is surprising. Okay, they're back early, but it's okay. I'm on my last beer, and I've told them not to go here. So we can still continue. We can still have fun, and you know, I'll tell you right now. You know what my wife did when she came home? Second she saw me, you know what she did? She went right to the fridge, and she checked to see if there was anything else. But you know what? You know what? I got the last one out. We timed it perfectly.
Oh, that's great. This Tim's wife just made an appearance.
Because I'm doing a stream within the stream.
Like
I'm streaming
beer.
this stream that I'm doing with you guys on my stream.
Oh, that's a lot of whiskey to chug, Austin. Jesus.
That was whiskey?
Yes. Jesus.
Checking to see if the wife is
Oh my
behind him.
God.
Are you going to fill it with club soda like Arch does to get the last drop out? Got to get the last drop out there.
No, I'm. All right, we got 230 people, 238 people. I tell you what, I'm just going to go for another probably. Well, I'm not going to give it time. I'll just until these things are done. Hey guys, let me just say first that thank you so much for coming on, Marco and Tim and JJ and Blue Shirt and Clive. And look, what I think is kind of interesting is this bridged the I don't know the what do you call you got two
the divide.
The two warring, what do you call it when you got two
clans, two warring factions?
Yeah, but what's the no man's land? The no man's land. That's it. Okay.
It's like Ukraine, the space right. Where.
and look, I don't know. I just love talking watches and no, I don't want to talk too much about what happened because I've got opinions on it. And
what happened?
I'm drunk enough that I probably would talk about those opinions, but I just want to say it's good that you guys.
You're talking about Freddy Krueger.
Oh,
but see, but you can't.
You get a couple more beers.
I'm sorry, guys. I had to do it.
He'll spill the goods.
You can't do that, right? You can't do that. I mean, I know you're having a laugh and stuff, but look,
you're in Switzerland, Marco. You got to be here.
Okay.
Yeah, you're in Switzerland. That's right. I don't know. Okay, maybe bridging the gap's not possible. Okay. Never mind. Maybe instead of it's just talking peace, maybe I should just drink up. Okay, guys. So what do we need to talk about before? Before we end. I mean, there's pressing business today. Perhaps.
Could I just say one thing real quick, Austin? Guys, you got 225 people watching. He's got 78 likes right now. Let's get these likes up. Let's go, guys. Come on, you're under 50%. Let's get him over 100 at least before the next likes. Minute's up.
JJ, thank you, guys. There's actually you're right. There's over 200 people. I mean, my God, I'm drinking on camera for you guys at
giving you 3 hours of content.
11:30 in the morning. The wife has already called the ambulance to take me to the hospital for an IV.
There you go, Austin. You're over 100.
I'm going the distance.
There
200, over 200 people. You gotta like that. Like it up. Throw it up. All right. So yes.
Well, I'd love to get your take on an image I have on screen. I've kept it up like 30 minutes, but it's just like
I was waiting for it.
Okay. Well, there's two. There's this one and there's another one I'd love to get.
Hold on.
Well, click add to stream. You got to click add to stream because now you just took it off.
Marco, please super chat it up. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, I can do that if you want.
No, I'm just kidding.
Okay.
I'm kidding. What do I think about?
It's a Milgauss, right?
Yeah.
Kind of a vintage Milgauss, like that honeycomb one that they made years ago.
Do you expect that to come?
No, I don't think so. I'm just asking, what do you think? Would you like this?
I mean, God, I don't know. It's so kind of meh. It doesn't have the green glass or the blue dial, but I like I don't know. It's got the hand that's more like the older Milgauss. See, here's the thing. I mean, the lightning hand is sort of, I can't tell if the lightning hand is the coolest thing or totally corny.
No, cool. It's cool.
But you got to admit, JJ, it's right on the line. Like I can't decide. It's like having a wife that's a porn.
It's like a jagged line, star. Austin.
No, Tim. I'm talking about porn. Just back up first. Back the truck up. Go with my analogy. It'll be more fun. Okay. It's like having a wife that's a porn star. I mean, it's like it's totally awesome, but like, oh God, do you really want to do that? But God, that's not. She's an old porn star. Yeah. But God, she's an old porn star. You know what I mean?
Yeah, right.
We got a super chat from our guy Toyota Mo. We love our Toyota Mo.
Awesome stream, Austin. JJ, Marco, Tim are the best thing that happened. Archie's live stream. Yes, absolutely. And hey, everybody that's appeared today. I don't want to give shade on anybody. Are we moving on, Marco? I mean,
we can go back to it if you want. This is the other one.
I want to get Tim's opinion on that.
Can I just say one thing real quick? The reason I bought my Milgauss was because of the lightning bolt hand. Well, it was one of the reasons.
Yeah. It totally loses something without that, doesn't it?
Yeah. I just thought it was so cool. The Z Blue with the orange. With the orange.
It's too close to the Air King.
I agree. I mean, it's the thing is, it becomes more mainstream and sort more wearable. And yes, you have that connection to the first Milgauss watches.
That's what I think makes it so cool that back then.
No, I'm talking about.
I'm sorry. Go ahead. No, but the older models had that lightning bolt hand, and back then it was so like something Rolex would never do. It was so surprising, and I like that nod back to that. That's the reason what made me like it.
Let me tell you, if they ever discontinue the Milgauss, especially with or they change it, or if that lightning hand ever goes away, man, can you imagine how collectible they would be?
I hope so. I hope you're right.
I need to get a white one, I think.
I think the white one would be the best one, non-GV?
I think the white one is the one that I would get because I like it. The GV bothers me because it's like you can't fully embrace the blue dial.
Mm-hmm.
But I get it because it's like the GV is very important. It's like I will just say that I hate the non-GV black. I hate it.
Very Halloweenish, right? Or Harley Davidson.
I would. I mean, look. I mean, it would look. When I say I hate it, I mean I would wear it. I would like it, but I would take it. Please super chat one to me. But it's just like
Austin. Just announce you're having a birthday tomorrow.
Yes.
No worries. We got you covered.
Marco, I have three birthdays this year. You didn't know that?
No.
I have three.
Oh.
First one starting tomorrow. It runs into the next month, and then the next birthday starts. Yeah. Okay. But yeah, JJ, I want to just finish this thought on the
sure.
The Milgauss. It's kind of one of those things. I sort of love the blue dialed GV glass Milgauss. It wouldn't be the same watch if it didn't have the GV glass. Do you know what I mean?
Right. I love the GV. You know why I love it? Because they didn't even patent it. They pretty much said, "Go ahead, if you could make it, let me see."
Yeah,
Nobody else is. It's such a ballsy move. It just makes me love it that much more.
Exactly. Yeah. I remember reading this, and they were like, it was so difficult to make that they were like, yeah. Which, by the way, JJ, I don't believe that for a damn second. They couldn't. they couldn't patent it. Give me the. Right. I mean, come on. They were sitting around and they were like, should we patent this? And another scientist was like, yeah, it's freaking really hard. Another scientist was like, it's really hard. Another scientist was like, yeah, let's just let it slide.
Would there be grounds to patent it? I don't know. If there are.
My guess is no. My guess is they couldn't do it. But it makes for a great
I just like the story behind it, though. I think it's an interesting, take on it. That like in any event, whether they could or couldn't, nobody else has been able to do it yet, or has done it yet, I should say. So that's what I find interesting about it.
Right. Yeah. I mean, so basically, I like the green glass and the blue. I don't like the green glass and the black at all. Okay. Mm-hmm. I don't really like that, but I like the green glass and the blue. And it's funny because I complain about the green glass, but if you were to take that away, then you just have sort of a blue dial. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so it's sort of like, I feel like I'm I don't like it with or without. I think there's a YouTube song that deals with that, with or without you.
YouTube. Okay. You want to start singing?
Marco, can you pull that song up? Because I
can, but there'd be no audio, and you'd definitely get taken down. The video taken down.
I'm just kidding. Toyota Mo says, also a shout out to Burbing Hard Showcase Watches, ABC and Doc BBW. Love you all, you guys. Also, that Archie Luxury guy is okay, I guess. I don't know anybody he's talking about. No, I'm just kidding. Burbing Hard, yes. most competent and honest police officer in the United States.
Right. And sound effect man.
Yeah, and you know, I'm 44 years old, but I still want to become a cop, and I think he might be my window into it. Okay. I've yet to talk to him. Showcase watches, which he's the nicest guy, isn't he? He's just so,
James is great.
He's so positive about things. I mean, he's like, you know, things come up, and I'm just, you know, most of the time I'm like, yeah, screw you, and he has this great take on it because he's so happy. That's why he's a very happy guy.
Yep.
He gets laid a lot, apparently. I'm just reading between the lines here. And
Birmingham's in the chat. He says they're hiring. There you go, Austin.
They're hiring.
Yep.
I want a desk job.
Pencil pushing.
Plus detective. All right. ABC. ABC.
Who makes the best TGV impressions? They're actually kind of sickening.
They are. I mean, my lack of saying anything wasn't because I didn't have anything good to say about him. It was because, I mean,
you had so many good things you couldn't think of which one to say first.
No, I mean he's such an asset to have that voice of TGV at our command. I mean, God, like that's so important. And then of course we got Doc BBW. Well, I don't know about you guys, but until I met him, I thought we landed on the moon. But but I've come to my senses. And I know that we haven't landed on the moon. And what other?
Bluesies are purple. I mean, those are the two things. Those are the two things I learned from it.
Yeah, it's funny because and nobody else is going to know this because they're not in the WhatsApp chat. But he actually, I felt so sorry for him when he tried to troll us. He basically, this, anybody that doesn't know this, okay, he released a picture of a bluesy that had turned purple on the dial with a green bezel. It was the ugliest fucking thing you've ever seen.
I tried being nice to him, Austin, but fuck,
nobody said anything about it.
Right.
Nobody said anything because he was like, I'm going to troll him. But we looked at it, we're like, oh my God, like he's really jumped the shark here because he's always doing weird stuff. And we were like, yeah, this is true. He really did this. And he was like, no, I didn't do that. Anyway, it was pretty funny because he was like, I didn't explain watch. The Joker watch.
Hey.
My God, it was horrible. I was like, he really has jumped the shark. Nobody was saying anything. It's like having like the crazy grandmother in your watch app group, like bumbling around, showing you some purple and green watch, and you're just like, hey,
and it's
how's the weather over there?
That's the best part. It's also two-tone.
But one thing, I will say this about Doc BBW, he is the nicest guy. Hello, gentlemen.
Oh, he's great. If you have a private conversation with him too, such a great guy, really great guy.
Yeah, and I mean to be as nutty as he is about his conspiracy theories. I mean, he's a very loyal guy. You guys probably don't know what I'm talking about, but he is a very loyal guy. Like he won't sell you out for a minute.
Also, Toyota Mo, he forgot to mention our new friend Artie.
Artie.
I just
Marco's crush. He's got a crush on Artie.
I got to make.
Okay,
We had a girl on the live show for the first time. Everybody was crushing me in chat. She's like the same age as me, roughly, and they were just going after me. It was hilarious.
Marco, I hate to tell you, I'm in the market too. So you got a competition.
No worries, man.
Artie was how old?
21.
21. I think she's a year young. 2021, something like that.
Is she? Okay, hold on. Is she really?
Oh boy, I don't know. This is going down the right path. Austin is a little gonzo.
Hold on a minute. I'm stopping my camera because my wife needs to get in the room to the back. It's cool. Go.
No worries.
Thank you. All right. So now Artie. All right. Is Artie just happy to be surrounded by doting males? Okay. Hold on. Stop. Okay. Before I let you guys answer, let me just say this. Okay. That I think this is a very male-centric sphere. Okay. And I think some women might stumble upon it and think, man, if I just sort of put myself out there, I'm going to have more, I don't know, attention than I ever had in my life, you know? And so I question the affinity for these watches. Now, let me just say that all in her movements, Penny is 100% into watches, right? You know, I think she used to be black girl gamer, right? Mm-hmm. But I mean, obviously she's got, you know, watches. I mean, she's into it. But the thing is, if you look at people like Jenny L, right? She's blown up. And so I think there are people that girls that might think, hey, you know, this is right for the pickings, you know, it's right for the pickings. And by the way, just so you guys know why you're not seeing me, my wife is going in and out of the thing.
Awesome. It's the simp culture. No worries. It's the simp culture, right? The simp culture. She's trying to capitalize on the simp culture, you know?
Yeah.
A lot of the female watch channels are blowing up. Look, Beth T is blowing up.
Yeah, Beth T's my favorite.
See, that's the thing, guys. That's the thing. I mean, I've got two daughters. I love women, but here's the thing. If a woman comes into this culture and they love watches, I welcome you. I love you. Welcome. Okay. But what I fear is that we're going to get played. Okay. We're going to get played. And that kind of scares me a bit. And so beware. Okay. Let me get these super chats. Okay. It says, hold on a minute. Tim, can you talk? What the hell is going on with you?
Tim's doing his own stream while he's doing your stream.
A stream within the stream, Austin. What's up?
Tim, I just unmuted you.
No, I muted myself because I'm actually talking on both streams at the same time. I'm doing a stream in the meantime, and I have you on, so we're watching your stream on my stream.
That's awesome. Okay. So Super Steel writes, oh, Noriko, are you okay? Yeah. My wife's name is Noriko, by the way. If you've ever wondered. So no, she can't see you, Marco.
Okay.
Marco. I called you Mariko because it's a Japanese name. Let's see here. There we go. There, back to it. Okay. Whoa, this is what you call the dream team. Fantastic to see you guys together talking watches. Mr. GMT. Is this Mr. GMT?
Yeah, Mr. GMT.
Oh, I know you, Mr. GMT, with the 116710LN. And that's awesome that you're watching. Thank you so much, man.
And he just bought a Kermit 888 cereal.
Yep.
Pre-ceramic or ceramic?
Pre-ceramic.
Oh, go!
He sold his two-tone and his Breitling Navitimer, and he got that.
Oh man, that's
Congrats
awesome.
Again, Mr. Jim.
Guys, before I move on to the other super chat, tell me more about that. Like,
it's mint condition too.
Dead mint.
Really?
Gorgeous.
Okay, Mr. GMT, that is an awesome watch. Jeez, enjoy. You'll probably never want to wear it, and it will live in a safe and be the bane of your existence.
Oh no, he wears it.
He's been wearing it. He's been wearing
it. He wears it and enjoy. I think he's not the type to
look. I'm sort of joking here, but in a way, no. I always wear the new watches, and then all of a sudden, it's almost like the hoarding sets in. It takes a while. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like the first week or two.
The first week or two is fine. In fact, you might even think, hey man, this is like my new daily wear. But when the first time you take it off and you put it somewhere safe and you kind of go, that's when you likely will never put it on again. But anyway,
Austin, you're amazing. I did the same thing with the sermon. It's so funny you say that. The first 2 weeks, I walked in the room, the Rolex walked in the foot before me. You know, I was so happy to have it on. Then I took it off. I put it in my watch box, and I'm like, maybe I shouldn't damage this. Maybe I should leave it right.
The longer it's in that watch box, the less it'll come out.
Right. I have to force myself to pull it out like at least once every 2 weeks and wear it.
All right. So CB says, thank you, Austin, for this awesome show. My pleasure, CB, man. Thank you for watching. It's not quite over yet. It's not quite over yet. The daughter and the wife are still, every time the wife walks into the back room, and behind me is the tatami room where I do my videos, right?
Oh. Is that what you did the push-ups the other day with the hydronaut?
That's where I did the push-ups.
Was that the hydronaut you had on? I'm trying to think. When you were timing it? No, that wasn't the hydronaut. That's Iconaut, right?
Jay, fuck, he's getting off the stream.
Austin.
Take your ass off the stream.
I'm getting the
Hold
boot.
on. It's the Iconaut.
Iconaut, sorry.
It's the Iconaut.
There it is.
We got to catch up on these super chats. We just got a mega chat that came in.
Yeah. All right.
We got one more from CB. I don't know if you see that. And Austin, if you need.
Yeah. I got it. Thank you, Marco. And Austin, he says, if you need Marco style haircut, let me know. Mark, thank you. I've actually got things myself. I look, for the past year, I've had 2 haircuts, nothing or buzzed. And people are so happy about this. I feel so, the idea of buzzing my hair, I feel like I would make people so upset. You know, they want this thing. So it's probably going to mean losing my job to have a mullet, but we can find other jobs, right? I mean, we can find other jobs, right? So, and then, wow, Ryan. Yeah, huge super chat here. First super chat ever. Ryan, you started off right. And Ryan, you're building up, so keep practicing. First super chat ever. Just want to show my support and say thanks. Keep up the good work, fellas. Man, Ryan, then I appreciate that.
Ryan's a good dude. He's always around. He's always in the chats. He's a good guy.
Now let me ask you. Ryan was absolutely crazy. He passed up a Rolex Blueberry, so that's the white gold, blue bezel Submariner, and he gave it to his friend. I told him not to do that. Listen, but man, what a guy. Ryan is a class act. We love Ryan.
Waste not, one not. By the way, guys, so we got a little bit more time before, you know, the news drops. And is anybody doing a live show at the appointed time?
I think it's going to be 6 a.m. for us, right, JJ?
It's probably going to be Mr. 2, I would imagine, because he's usually on at that time, Mr. 2's place. If you guys don't know, the guy that super chatted you before.
Yes.
Right. He just started a channel for the Aussie guys because 6 a.m. is like their nighttime there or whatever. I mean, I'm sure you know you're in. So he just started that for the guys to hang out a little bit. So he might be doing it. I'm not really sure. We told Arch to do it, but he said it's a lot of work. So we'll see.
Well, I tell you what, Mr. I hate to commit to anything, but if Mr. 2 is doing it, I'll jump on to talk about it tonight. But again, I don't want to commit to anything because, you know.
Right. Now, is it this soon, though? Because I've heard multiple times. Does anyone have an exact time?
Yeah, they said 12 p.m. Swiss.
JJ.
Yes.
I made a video about this.
I did watch it, but then other people are giving conflicting news. Right. This is what I'm tossed up about.
No, I know the truth. I know the truth. It's 12. It's noon. It's noon Geneva time. Yeah. Which, I mean, I'm only as good as my source, but it's a pretty quality source. So
when is that from now? Just for everyone watching, that's a little confused. Like 8 hours from now, 6 hours or something.
I believe it is 7. It's 7 hours and 10 minutes from now.
Correct.
Okay.
And that's an Iconaut that I use to tell the time. So, you know, and then
that's 6 a.m. in New York City for anyone.
Marco, you're not afraid of giving your opinion. What do you think of this beast of a watch. By the way, before we start there, Tim, saw, you know what I saw? Trying to get cute here. I remember seeing something in some comment somewhere about the Iconaut was a huge mistake. Huge mistake.
What?
Laugh it up there.
No, I mean, look, when you
Ukrainian
posted,
boy.
I
We love when Austin
remember
watches our
that
videos,
video
except for
very
this stuff, right?
vividly when you had when you scrolled past the display window and you asked people to kind of guess which watch to get, and I thought you were gonna get the Panda, the Tudor Panda. And then when you got that, I was like, what the hell? It's only something a Rolex would do. A completely out of the left field.
Tudor Panda, you were watching my old video. I know what you're talking about. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So I built it up and then I
disappointed everybody, just like Rolex does. Let's be honest.
I will tell you this, guys. I know what he's talking about. And there was a video where I was shopping in Fukuoka, Japan, and I saw this watch, and that's what Tim is talking about. Okay. And then I went on to another shop and I tried on a Daytona. And it's funny because I've never talked about this, but when I tried on that Daytona, when I tried on that Daytona, I remember thinking at that time, as I was making the video about the Iconaut, and I remember thinking, fuck that Iconaut. Fuck that Iconaut. This Daytona is so awesome. Fuck that Iconaut. And, but of course, I got one now, so it's all changed.
So you made a huge mistake?
Magic mushrooms?
No. Well, the thing is, I was looking at it from the aesthetics 100%. And for me, I mean, this watch isn't so much about aesthetics as function, you know? It's like, hold on a minute. Jesus, I thought I started it for this live shot. It broke. I cannot broke.
Well, that's just like
get what you pay for, guys, right?
Yeah, you get what you pay for. It's right.
Only I know the truth. Austin Daniels, woof woof. Money Penny. Oh well. Look, guys, I made a mistake. You guys remember seeing that video where I was like, "Yeah, J bro, no change to the GMT." I mean, I really believed it 100%. And look, this is the whole fun of the hobby. I mean, like I really wanted to put myself out there and, like I said, plant my flag in the sand and say, like, this is what I believe and I'm willing to commit to it. And I had people, this guy, Jared Smith, man, he was like, oh, he's so passive aggressive. He was saying, yeah, I think you're getting above your skis again. I think you might be wrong again. Just begging me to say, I mean, again. Anyway, he's right. He's right. I think I got it wrong. But that's the whole point. That's the whole point. It's like if you just kind of waffle about things, you commit and you take your lashes and that's it. So anyway, I think obviously I'm going to be wrong here, but that's okay because my misfortune is Marco's fortune. He's going to be able to get a RSC when he gets his Blnr, and he's going to be able to get 2 bracelets.
Austin, I got a serious question for you. How do you think Marco's going to feel when he actually has to really get a Rolex?
What?
Like when he has to wait and he has to pay major cash. Do you think he's still going to love it as much?
Here. What do you mean, 14,000?
Come on, we love you, Marco. We love you.
That's an interesting point, JJ.
Another big super chat.
Look, oh, really? Okay.
Oh, there you go. That was Wes.
Wes, $50. Thank you, Wes. Austin, thanks again for having me on the chat. Pleasure talking to you guys. The Iconaut is awesome. It will never betray you and be worth 10 grand. LOL. I like everything but the LOL. You trolling me, man. But who knows? I hope not. I hope not, because if it's 10 grand, I won't enjoy it as much. But thank you, Wes. And thank you, Wes, for coming on. It was awesome to talk to you because I know you from your custom video, but it was awesome to talk to you. Okay. Now, Oh, just a quick thing. Matt Stevens is in the house. Just so you know, you guys know Matt Stevens, right?
I do not know Matt Stevens. I'm sorry.
Acquaintance.
Well,
No.
I've been half naked with Matt Stevens in a body of water.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So you guys are total strangers.
Pretty much. No.
Just kidding.
Long story short, okay, he's a watch guy. He deletes a lot of his stuff. A lot of watch channels. He also has an older Mercedes. I insulted his Mercedes terribly one night, drunkenly. And then eventually I was like, okay, I'm sorry. I'll meet you in Thailand and we'll see if we hate each other or not. Did it. We had a great time. There you go. Okay, so is this the next one, guys?
Yep.
All right. Austin, thoughts on Tudor Chronomatic?
I can pull it up for you if you want.
Yeah, please do. Guys, what were we talking about before? There was something I was
Marco buying the Rolex.
Yes. Thank you.
Not letting him get away that
okay.
easy. Don't worry.
Right. Yeah, we're not going to let him get away. No. You don't get over $10,000 in one day, and you don't get a lashing. Not on Watch Symposium. No, you get a beating on Watch Symposium. When Watch Symposium has worked over 2 years for that same amount of money. No, you don't get to roll on the scene and in one night get more than Watch Symposium has ever made in Watch Symposium life and not get the beating.
Austin, by the way, it was 20,000, just so you know. Sorry.
Yeah, total ended up being $20,035.55. And then I got another like $110 on that stream I did, the recapture, 120 something. Just ridiculous.
Thank you, JJ, for
salt in the wound, you know?
Thank you for JJ for clarifying. I really want to be careful here, and that makes me very happy that I can be accurate about things.
But Austin, honestly,
okay, guys, just stop.
It was total lightning in the bottle. You know what I mean? Like it'll never happen again. That was just beyond my wildest dreams.
Like I said. Okay, here's the thing. Marco has paid for a Rolex. Marco has done his penance. And when I say he's done his penance, I mean he's paid for a Rolex himself. And that was the one thing when Marco was on the channel that I was always a little bit iffy about. That he didn't have a Rolex. He hadn't pulled the trigger on one, right. But he did, and he did. Okay, flat out 100%. And you got your Rolex watch. Now, as far as this windfall that has come, justice, fairness. Is there any fairness to it? Well, probably not. But who cares? But and I go back to this, I think of all of us watch guys. I think of all of us, every creator out there. And Marco, he put his face on Archie Luxury's channel when Archie Luxury needed it. Mm-hmm. Period. His face, right? And so, he basically stepped up. And so, look, does anybody deserve $20,000 in one day? I'll let you guys debate that. But if there's anyone in this watch community that does, it is Marco. Okay. And look, my feelings on it are this. I feel like it was a group effort on certain parts, and I don't know, why people have decided that Marco, for obvious reasons, okay, that Marco is the baby and he wants to be, taken care of and stuff. And so I don't know. I imagine that a lot of people will probably be very jealous by that, I mean, like I said, I'll be very honest with you. I mean, when I heard about that, my first instinct was extreme jealousy. Yeah, I mean, I was really jealous. But then again, I look back and I thought, this much money in one day, do I deserve it? Fuck no. Does this guy deserve it? Does this guy deserve it? I thought about all the YouTubers out there. I thought about all the watch guys out there, and I thought, you know what? He is the one guy that deserves it. He's the one fucking guy that deserves it, and he got it. And so
I don't think I don't deserve it any more than anybody else.
Nobody deserves it, Marco. Right. Nobody deserves it, but some people deserve it more. I tell you what, you deserve it a hell of a lot more than I deserve it. That's for sure. So how? Yeah, exactly. Especially JJ, he's rich as fuck, right? But, I deserve it more than JJ deserves it. But my whole point is that yeah. Okay, so now that's said, I've got to sort of step back and say that this Rolex will be an interesting Rolex for you because it's a Rolex that didn't come from the sweat of your brow, okay? And so that can be a beautiful thing or not. And let me just kind of go off a side tangent and just say that I have a very nice gentleman in another country that I reached out to just the other day. I was at the end of my wits and I said, can you get me a Blnr? I know you got a good, relationship with the AD, and he's going to try, right? He's going to try. And I said, thank you, MJT. Marco will get over this. Okay. It was a different guy. Okay. It was a different guy. It was a different guy. But here's the thing. I've been thinking about this for a while. I'll have to go to this country. I'll have to buy the watch. You want to say hi?
Hi.
Hi. All right.
Hello.
Mwah.
She's adorable.
And here's the thing. I will always owe this guy for my watch. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
He'll always be a part of that watch. He'll always sort of, if you ever see, I'm a very loyal person, as many of you guys are. And so he's one of those guys that I don't think not like I'm looking to fuck him over or anything, but I will always feel this sort of debt, this debt of gratitude for the watch if it were to come to pass, and I don't know how I feel about that. All right. I'll just say that because, all of my watches, they're mine 100%, and I can buy them. I can sell them. I can talk nasty about them. I can talk great about them. And I guess this comes into, watches that you are willed and you get and are given as gifts, or you get all of those watches, you just feel like you need to put on that extra level of respect, and that can sort of weigh on you. I like to be able to say to my Explorer 2 that it's got a bad polish. Do you think I would ever say that if somebody had given me that watch? I never would. I never would say that. I'd never be able to be honest about the watch, Mm-hmm. And I'd always have to say, oh, it's got a fucking shit polish. But like somebody gave it to me, I'm really happy, but it's got a shit polish. And every time I said it's got a shit polish, I'm shitting on that and that
people that gave it to you.
Exactly. And so, I guess my only point is to say that. There is a cost here in a way with the relationship that you will have with your watch, and it's not to say that I think you should be happy.
Austin, I think honestly it's going to make it, if anything, a lot more special, right? It's a watch that the watch community kind of came together and got for me. So like I get that point. Like I didn't like the sub will be to me more memorable because I had to work my ass off and I saved diligently and started working since I was 15. You know what I mean? I didn't really go out to clubs and all this shit. Like I thought that's a waste of money. I'm going to get a Rolex sub instead, right? So I actually had to work for this kind of on my own and get it. But I think the Batman will be just as special because at the end of the day, it's like the watch community embracing me, and it's like Jesus Christ, like why me? You know what I mean?
It's kind of like the yin and the yang, though, Marco. Like I was teasing you, breaking chops, but you really did save all your money to buy that sub, and you did put a lot of effort into getting a watch, and you did put a ton of effort into the community, and I think everyone just wanted to show you appreciation that day, and it came together to what it is. But like I was saying, with the yin and the yang, that was like you have your really hard work watch, and then you have the watch that just showed like people in your passion cared about you and wanted you to have. So it's two totally different. It came from two totally different places, and I think that's pretty cool.
Let's shelve this conversation very quickly. Austin, I have the tutor pulled up just for that super chat, and then we got a super chat from Toyota Mo.
All right.
That tutor auto chrono audit.
Let's do the super chat first, okay?
Sure. No worries. I just wanted to make sure we don't get behind. There you go.
Thank you. Austin, soul readings start
Oh wait, Austin, did you ever see that Joe Kramer soul reading?
Yeah. Oh yes, I saw that. Oh, yes. Oh my god.
Tim's ready.
You were watching it?
Jesus. He said you have no soul. Is there anything worse that you can say to a person? Anyway,
well, it's because he insulted him. Though. He insulted Archie, no? He insulted. He said he had ladies.
Eddie, what did he say about Archie?
He said he had lady-sized Patek's and things like that.
After
wait, is that equivalent? Right? No soul, lady-sized Patek's. I mean, if somebody says that,
hold on.
If somebody
says he said his watches had no soul, he said.
Right. He said his watches had no.
His collection had no soul. He said.
No. He said your collection. He kind of like he said the way he said it was like, looking at your collection, I can tell that you have no soul, something like that. But like your collection doesn't have a soul just like you, or something like that.
So can I just explain why though? Because it's very obvious. So he had only steel Rolex and Omega, right? But you have to understand, he's coming on saying, I make $70,000 a month, right? And what's Archie's thing?
It doesn't matter.
Hold on, let me finish.
Why are you trying to make excuses?
The bickering commences.
Austin, back me up on this if you agree, right? Austin religiously says in his paid reviews, to get kudos, you have to have skin in the game, right? You spend on watches proportion to how much you make, right? If you're
we don't know how much you make.
Right, but this is why he's saying he's making $70,000 a month. Archie's just giving him the advice. He said you don't have enough skin in the game.
Yeah. Okay, let me respond to that. I don't think I've ever said that, but I know what you're talking about, Marco. I mean, obviously, if you've got, it's related, because if it has to hurt, then it has to,
Anyways, it doesn't really matter. Let's not drift off topic. Let's go to the tutor. You know that tutor?
Yeah. Okay.
I have it pulled up for you.
Yeah, but let me just say that as far as Joe goes, he did make a good point as far as he was 70,000 a month would be taxable and it would like roll over. He's a farmer, and so you know what I mean?
Right.
And so if he said it in one point, I know, as sort of a flex, like I make 70,000, and then later it comes out like, okay, well, 70,000, but like I don't cash in on it, So I think that's sort of legit. Look, one thing to keep in mind when it comes to Joe is he's 25 years old. 25. I mean, when I was 25, I was thrown up in a pile of my own throw up. That's what I was doing, right? I mean, he's running a farm here. And look, I think there was some miscommunication between Archie and Joe. And look, I got to be honest. When I saw that and I saw Archie saying like, you have no soul. And look, I remember rolling it back and being like, did I miss something? No, he said, Joe, you have no soul. Look, did Archie mean that? Probably not. I mean, we all say stupid things. And he probably, if you were to ask Archie, I'm sure you'd say like, I was talking about his collection. But I can imagine somebody saying that to me, especially the watch guru on YouTube. And then all of a sudden can you imagine how bad he felt from that?
You're like, hey, look at my collection. What do you think? Oh, yeah, I think you have no soul. You're like, oh, yeah, it's like a death strike, right?
So I think there was some.
The chat hates it, Austin. They want us to move on. The chat hates this topic. They want us to move on.
Okay, move on then. Move on.
I have that tutor. The chrono audit.
Yeah. Oh, here, let me do it.
Because we want to give value for money.
All right.
This is the watch.
Guys, I'll be right back. 1 second.
What do you think, Austin?
I tell you guys, give me 1 minute. I gotta talk with my wife about something. Give me 1 minute, okay?
No worries. Oh.
I'm gonna bounce. So
No worries. Take
see
care,
you guys
Tim.
tomorrow. Take care, guys.
Hold on, Marky. You don't want to spend the 20,000 on Pepsi or corn. The invent. Whoa, hold on, Powie. Here's the thing, right? That birth year is a very different watch from the one I originally tried on. All right, I tried on one with the solid end links. Oh, hello, Austin. You're muted. You're muted.
All right, I got 5 minutes, guys, and then I got to pick up my daughter from school. All right, unfortunately, so 5 minutes. All right, so
no worries.
Looking at this watch now, interesting. Have you guys noticed the hands on that watch?
Yeah, it's the Tiger, right? That's what it's called.
The hands are Hydronaut hands.
Hydronaut, yeah, sorry, the Hydronaut. Yeah.
89190. And wow, that's very interesting. And what do I think about it? Well, it's all right. It's kind of bland looking to me. If I were looking to get a Tudor, I probably would get a Tudor. You know, they used to make Tudors with the chronograph, the date, and then a rotating bezel with a poor man's GMT. And if you have that, then it's sort of like you have a GMT, but it's not as good as a fourth hand, right? It's not as good as a fourth hand, but it's, but of course that's a lot of a better looking watch, a lot of people would say. By the way, guys, 4 minutes. If you want to ask a question, super chat, now's the time to do it. I got to pick up my daughter, unfortunately, and I'm out of beer and my wife's pissed and everything. Yeah.
It's all gone sideways.
It's pear-shaped. It's pear-shaped.
Yeah, right. Is that an Aussie expression, Austin?
It's got to be, because I never heard it until I heard Archie, and now I use it all the time.
It is very catchy.
I use a lot of Archieisms, back the truck up, all those things. But anyway, to talk about Marco, that hey, do we lose Tim?
Yeah, Tim headed out. I think he's doing his own stream. That's why.
Okay. So that's it's. God, I don't know. Sometimes you can look at a watch and you can see elements that can't let you look at it with, I don't know, with eyes that are not biased. And when I look at that, I think I look at a watch that has Hydronaut hands, right? Which is kind of weird. Hydronaut hands, 89190 hands. Marco, do you want to pull that up? I mean, if you will, you'll see
what's the one? Tudor
89190. See, look at those hands. Those hands are the same. You see?
Yeah.
That's my picture, actually. That's my wrist.
Oh, they copied the same hands from this onto the.
No, that's my video. It's from a picture from my video.
Right, but you're saying these hands in this picture, they took these hands and they copied them onto.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly. Yeah. So what if I see that? I don't know. I don't really like that so much, you know, because I've always looked at these hands as like the Tudor Hydronaut hands.
You know, like the mixing and matching, any type of borrowing from.
No, I don't so much. So, guys, JJ, any last thing? I think this is winding down. I've got about 171 people. We've been on for 4 hours. You know, so JJ, let me just say thank you for stopping on. Marco, thank you.
My pleasure.
For stopping on. Both of you guys, and any last thoughts about anything that's coming with the current models?
I think, people have this idea that too many things are going to happen. I don't think it's going to be as many things as people are expecting. She's so cute. I think they're going to revamp the Explorer and maybe do a small secondary thing. I think, and that's going to be it. I think people are going to be very shocked when not too much happens, but I could be wrong.
Underwhelmed.
Super chat.
Right.
All right.
Yeah, I think disappointment is in the air, Austin. That's what I'm.
Yeah, it always is, isn't it? I mean, it always is. Mr. Two's Place will be streaming the release tonight live with overreactions, 8 p.m. Sydney time, 12 noon Geneva. I might stop by Mr. Two's Place. Mr. Two, thank you.
6 a.m. our time, right? JJ?
Yeah, 6 a.m. Eastern time, New York City time.
Like me dead. I mean, I got to write an essay, so I'll probably have to pull an all-nighter tonight. So maybe I won't make it on too if you'll have me, Mr. Two.
If you guys want to see the other daughter, why not?
Come join us.
There you
go. God bless you. One cuter than the next. They're adorable. Hi.
Yeah, there you go. All right, guys. Well, I'm gonna end this show. Guys, thank you for watching. Marco, thank you for coming by. JJ, thank you for coming by. I want to thank everybody for watching. I want to thank all the people that joined tonight watching and also participating. And hey, man, I love you guys. Take care, okay?
Bye, guys.